Recording has begun for Raven Vayne coaching. Here we go. So in this particular matchup, you are against an Ornn top. Paired up with a Sejuani jungle versus enemy Kha'Zix's jungle, okay. They have Nasus Ziggs, so QSS is a viable purchase here. Let's double check your runes. You are running LT, Cut Down, okay. Cashback and Cosmic Insight. So can you explain to me why you prefer these runes over like Sudden Impact or Ultimate Art or even Conditioning OG?
I felt like I would need Flash a lot this game because of Kha'Zix.
Okay, that's fair play. Nothing wrong with that. I think into Ornn though, this is a weird particular matchup where Sudden Impact and Ultimate Hunter isn't actually high value, and I really highly value those two runes because most of the time Ornn players will just AFK. I'm sure you're already aware of this. They can't really do anything in this matchup. So I feel like running Conditioning OG can be very beneficial because you get absolute free scaling and you don't need that extra damage to beat the Ornn matchup anyways. So that's something you should look to explore in the future for this particular matchup, just this one, Ornn.
Okay.
Aside from that, you went AD because you went Doran's Bow, and you went with the movement speed shard with scaling HP shard, which is all correct. The movement speed shard is something that I've been personally experimenting with, and I think it is actually one of the best things to run on Vayne, just because that
I love it.
yeah, you get extra MS, which is probably one of the best stats in the game. But when I don't run it is that I don't run it on red side, and I'm sure you know I do that level 1 invade on junglers here.
Yeah, I've been trying that out. It feels very good.
You don't run movement speed shard on red side if you think you're gonna do that. If you think you're gonna do that invade, because you need that extra adaptive to actually solo kill the jungler early on. So that's just a little tiny niche piece of information. But aside from that, these runes are good. Doran's Bow is correct into Ornn because this is a matchup where you don't need HP, like Tryndamere, Fiora, Darius, something along those lines. So this is all correct stuff. Good. The only weird thing is the secondary runes, but it's not a game changer. Is there a particular reason? Do you do this ward often? Is my first question.
No.
Okay. Because this is a ward. I would never do this ward. I think you stop this forever. Because if you're going to invade, which is fine, I like to do some weird shitty invades from blue side sometimes. You would just run through here like this, and then just kill whoever's here if they're there. Otherwise, you just run straight top. Because you having vision of them finishing the red buff, if they actually started, it doesn't do anything for you. Nobody's doing red into top in 2026. They can do 2 camps into top, but your Vayne, you'll just pop double sums and you will be perfectly fine. And most of the time, you only have to pop 1 summoner. So I think this ward is useless, even if it was a Jarvan jungle. So I would avoid placing this ever again and just hold on to it. And only look for the invade if you're going to do it. Otherwise, be top lane.
Okay.
All right. You are top lane. Beautiful. So you always... so moving forward, this is how we label bushes. 1, 2, 3 on blue side. On red side, going this way, it's 1, 2, 3. So 2 is always the same. So most top laners will always hide in bush number 2 if you don't hold control level 1. And I'm sure over time we'll start to explain when you should be holding bush or when you should be invading, when the matchups come up. But this is a matchup where you don't have to hold control of bushes because it's an Ornn. You'll eventually gain control of it again anyways. Continue on. Okay. Once all these minions die, you want to hover towards the left side. Perfect. You want to start playing right here, outside of his Ornn Q range. As he started Q, we can see here. And you want to be here because you always want to be in a position to auto-attack them if they ever stick their head out. And then reset the minion aggression with the brushes. This is going to be very standard stuff that you're always applying against almost every single melee matchup. Here we go. So boom, into the bush. You already did it. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Haha, let's go. All right. Good. And out of curiosity, this is going to be a random note. Do you know how to kill a ward level 1 if someone places it in a brush? Okay, perfect. And just for the viewer, just to be safe, it's auto, auto, Q into wall, auto. You have to Q into wall. If you don't Q into wall, you will not get the ward. It's not possible. All right, let's continue on. Good, into the brush. So right here is where you're starting to make mistakes in this lane. So aside from missing one CS, you don't want to auto randomly because you don't want to push the wave any faster than you have to. Right now, we both agree 1,000,000%. You already have the first push. You're going to get level 2 first. The wave is slow pushing into Ornn. The most important thing here is to make sure that you have your 3-wave crash nice and clean. So in order to do this, you need to only last hit here. Once the 3rd wave is in a position where it's relatively close to the tower, then you start shoving here. Because you want the 3rd wave to be roughly around right here. Or right here. But you never want it to be right here. It's one of the worst places that it can be. And those all seem relatively close to each other. But trust me, these are 3 different things. Because the difference is if the wave is here, they can access the wave to actually last hit some of the minions, which you don't want. You don't want them to be able to clear any of the minions when it's that close to tower. Because when it's that close to tower, they're comfortable walking up. Because you can maybe auto them once or twice, not a big deal. But if it's over here, and they're sticking their head up to try to last hit minions here, you can auto them 3 times. So they're going to be a bit more wary and not walk up. And the reason why you want to do this is because you want the biggest wave possible every single time you 3-wave crash on someone. Because now, if you decide to 3-wave crash base, they have to spend a lot more time clearing that 3rd wave. And if they ever try to hard shove wave 4, they spent more time on wave 3. So when they shove wave 4, you're able to get back in time and be able to potentially hold the freeze going into wave 5, 6, and 7. If you put the wave right here, and they're able to shave a lot of it, they can clear your 3-wave crash pretty quickly, go deal with wave 4, and the wave 4 will be crashed into your turret, and you won't be able to hold the freeze when you come back from wave 4, if you 3-wave cheater base. Now, of course, if you don't 3-wave cheater base, and you 3-wave suicide dive, the bigger the wave, obviously, the better for you, because that means when you die and they die, they've lost more minions, technically. So it's only beneficial for you to make sure that you slow down the wave as much as possible until wave 3 comes. Do you have any questions about the first 3 waves?
Would there ever be a situation in which I want a 2-wave crash? Like if I'm expecting to be ganked?
There is no situation ever where you want to 2-wave crash, ever. Unless you solo kill. You literally solo kill them. And you can push the wave 2 fast enough to crash into the enemy tower. Or at least like have it close enough to a crash. Because I'm trying to think of times when that happened, and that it has happened before, 100%. But most of the time, I still 3-wave crash, even when I solo kill them, unless I'm 1 HP. But yeah, there are unique times. It's when you solo kill someone who has TP, and you just need to fucking just get it in as hard as you can, and just get the hell out before the wave 3 comes, and then you come back and then deal with the whatever wave situation you have. So yeah, that's probably the situation. Solo kill plus the enemy top laner's TP. You want to hard shove. Okay. Okay, right here, you do not want to be positioned back here. This is very bad. Unless you think you're getting Raptor rerouted. Where it's red, Krug, Raptor, reroute. But even then, I still wouldn't even account for that. I would just YOLO walk up anyways and just burn double sums if someone actually legitimately does that to me. Because right here, you're positioned for one thing. Whenever, okay, I need to type this out. So, because this is like things that you have to do moving forward. It's Vayne. Always position when in control. Only when you're in control. To attack minions. Potentially poke. And zone. And decent positioning to dodge gang. So, I've listed out 3 things here. So right now, the way you're positioned right now is to... Also, do you prefer a color, by the way? Blue, pink, red? Or do you don't care?
Any is fine.
Okay, let's do red, because yeah, you're blue side. Okay, so right now, you're currently positioned to attack minions. We both agree on that. Right now, you are positioned to dodge a gank if it does happen, because if the gank comes, you're pretty close to your tower. So you can run this way, jungler runs this way, the meetup point is right here. So you're still perfectly fine. Whereas if you're higher up, the meetup point will probably be around here instead of right here. But you're not positioned to poke. As you can see here, Vayne's zone of influence is not anywhere close to Ornn at all. So right now, you're not positioned optimally to achieve multiple things in this lane. Whereas if you were positioned up here, you're positioned in a way where you can maybe poke if this guy walks up. You can still last hit. It's still okay to escape ganks, but as you can see, you're achieving 3 things compared to 2 things. Right now, you're only achieving 2 things. So that means your positioning right now is suboptimal. You're not min-maxing the champion as much as you can. So by positioning here, you achieve more. And I'm not sure if you actually know this is warded, but you need to find out. Auto him into the bush, the minions will stay on you and be like, oh fuck. And then you'll realize it's warded, which is fine. Okay. But yeah. All these autos that you did like 5 autos now, which is very poor. Because now you're pushing the wave a little too fast. I think the next wave will be right here. Ideally, it can be over here. But let's see. Okay. It's all fine. Now you would hard shot this. What happened to the wave, by the way? Let me see. How did he clear the wave so hard? Because it's not supposed to be this bad. Okay, he gets first 3, which is fine. Okay. Right here, you're supposed to hard zone him. Poke him really hard. Okay. The reason why it was so bad was because you allowed him to clear those 3 mages in the backline of wave 1 so heavily. Those mages should... At least one of those mages should still be alive, so... That means your early zoning, after he revealed his positioning, was not good in this matchup. That's why he was able to clear those 3. But one of those mages should still be alive, so that the push happens a bit faster. So in a matchup where they should not be allowed to touch the wave at all, even with Ornn Q, you need to zone them harder. So that is your problem that you've done in this matchup so far, is that you've allowed him to touch the wave a lot more than he's allowed to. And if he's going to touch the wave, you need to make sure his HP goes down, because... if he's attacking the wave as a melee champion with a ranged ability, he should be punished for 1000%.
Okay.
So that's the mistake so far in this matchup. Let's keep going. Okay. Good. Okay, now you want to hard shove as hard as you can. Just start wailing autos and wailing Qs. However, there's a unique scenario. Let me explain the unique scenario. Unique scenario. So there's the unique scenario of your opponent has cleared enough minions because they are playing a champion that has range. And this is very common into champions like Syndra top lane, maybe even Jace. Anything that has range, or they've done enough damage to the minions. You can 4-wave crash. And this is only possible when they clear a certain amount of minions. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, it's exactly like 6 minions or something like that. You'll just feel it and be able to know. Because right now, we can both agree, if you only last hit right now, wave 4 is coming. And wave 4 will still be in this position. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that if you can't comfortably crash wave 3, you may as well wait for wave 4. And then comfortably crash. Because right now, if you started hard shoving the wave as hard as you can, the problem is we both agree that you have to wail on a cannon like 20 times for the cannon to die. By the time you crash this wave 3 right here, wave 4 will be like right here, which is very bad. Because if you base, that means Ornn can easily clear wave 3 that you just crashed into his turret, clear entire wave 4, and then wave 4, it crashes underneath your turret, and then now, since you get back to lane first, you'll have to be playing wave 5-6 into his face. And that's exactly the timer the enemy jungler can gank you, which is very bad. But if you stack up wave 3, how I properly said you should, you would be able to avoid that and be able to freeze the wave on wave 4, 5, and 6 so that you can avoid the enemy jungle gank, or better yet, force the enemy jungler to walk in and try to clear the wave. And then now you're just wailing on both of them while they both try to shave the wave. And by the way, I'm explaining these things and it might be hard to visualize. Maybe you might have seen it in the past. But trust me, you will see this shit 100%. It's a repetitive thing that happens over and over again every single game when the enemy jungler pass top. But in this case, right now you can wait for wave 4, so that you can get a nice juicy crash on wave 4, and you'll be able to base and then come back and be able to freeze once he hard shoves wave 5, and then hold wave 5 and 6 close in front of your turret. And again, you'll be able to see these things over and over again as you continue playing the game and actively think about it. So notice how it's really weird what you did here. You kind of fast push, kind of slow pushed. It was like 50-50, and well, you hard shove. And as you can see, exactly what I said happened. Wave 4 is really close. So right now you're in an awkward position where, oh, do I base for, do I do this 3-wave weird base? Or do I now awkwardly stay? Now how do I play wave 4? Do I just clear the wave and then fight the Ornn again? And these are questions that are very valid. But the biggest problem here is you don't want to just keep auto-shoving on repeat over and over again for wave 4 and 5. This is one of the worst things that can happen. Because now, I promise you, you're burning ghosts. 100%. If you play wave 4 and 5 in this way. That's why it's very important to get a nice clean crash on wave 3. Or save it. Save wave 3 for wave 4. Then clean crash on wave 4. So you can base and avoid that gank. However, if you know the enemy jungler is pathing bot, which you know he isn't, now 100%, you can play like that, where you can 3-wave crash, keep wailing on the tower over and over again if you want. Clear wave 4, creep wailing on the tower, and repeating over and over again. If the enemy jungler pathed bot. And then on wave 6, you can start AFKing again. Or finally find a way to base. So that when they do their base into Krugs, into top, or into top gank, you're long gone. You're not even there. Ultimately, though, everything's okay still. I'm just talking about absolute min-maxing. Get his ass! Nice. Good job. Okay, so the way you're playing wave 4, 5 is you're just playing an AFK style, which is perfectly fine too, because you know the enemy jungle is pathing top. So when you're in this position, whenever the wave's slow pushing towards you, I'm sure you're aware. You want to kind of AFK for the most part, let the wave slow push towards you, shave as much as you can without bouncing the wave back, and go from there. A unique thing you can do into matchups that are weak, like Ornn. Like if this was like Fiora or Jace, full AFK, no questions asked, no one's saying anything. But because this is Ornn, what you can do here is you can play on bounce back versus weak matchups. You can play aggressive defensively. So that just sounds really weird. So what this means is how you can play aggressive on this Ornn is you can poke him, but you never ever go forward a second time to actually poke him. All you're doing here is positioning here so that if he wails an auto on a minion, you can just slap an auto and then just immediately run away. Full defensive, running away. And if you see anything come out, Ornn Q, Ornn W, Ornn E, you're just tumbling away as fast as you can. And what you're doing here is you're min-maxing your output while you're maximizing your output onto Ornn, but minimizing any possible chance of messing anything up. And that allows you to do the most you can on Vayne. But right now, you are playing full AFK, which is not good. Into Jace, it's fine. Into Fiora, it's fine. But not into Ornn. You want to aggressively play defensively on the Ornn here, so that you can wail his HP down just even a little bit. So that going into wave 5, 6, 7, if you can hold the freeze here successfully, the Kha'Zix has to come in, then you can wail them both. Or you could potentially even run down the Ornn if you see an angle where he really messed up and took 3 autos from Vayne. From you. But yeah, I don't like the full AFK here. Not good. And I understand Kha'Zix is top. We both know that, 100%. But you can still do as much as you can without risking your life. Unless you think he was going to do red and then straight top and then skip his Krugs, then maybe. But even then, like, you just pop Ghost and then you're chilling. Okay, good. You're shaving. What can we do here? See? Bad positioning. You're entering Ornn a zone of influence. and you get wailed on. So what you're supposed to do here next time is a very small deal, but it's... You're playing Vayne, you want to min-max. So, last hitting that mage minion is fine. You see the Ornn animation come out, you should immediately run this way. This is hindsight, but this is easy hindsight to see. Because he's lining himself up to shoot an Ornn Q across these 3 minions, and he's going to hit you at the same time. You don't want to be aligned perfectly for him to do that. So this is just an experience thing when it comes to Ornn to be able to watch out for. Now, I'm not saying juke right. Juking right is one of the dumbest things you can do here. Because by juking right, you make it so that when you run back, you either have to go around the Ornn Q, so you don't get hit by the Ornn E, which opens you up to the Kha'Zix to immediately access you right here. But you should be running down away, for sure. That's the best way to play it here, is to escape it. Once it's down, you can walk up again, and then get ready to just Q outside of the Ornn Q plus E combo. One thing to watch out for, though, is the Ornn E is surprisingly bigger than what it may seem. The worst thing that you can do is tumble slow, and as you're mid-tumble, you get knocked up in the air because you're getting hit by the Ornn E. So make sure that you avoid that and tumble right away, right when you see the Ornn Q, or never tumble, one or the other, and then just tank the Ornn E, and then you can at least tumble after. Okay, what are you supposed to do here? You are supposed to... You have 2 potions. You don't want Ornn to base. What you want to do here is you want to position right here and see what Ornn does. Never position here. This is one of the dumbest things you can do because you know Kha'Zix is here. You're dead if this happens. And if you're too slow to react to a flash flash E, that's very bad. So you want to pull left here, specifically against an Ornn. Don't do this against Jace or Fiora or Darius, by the way, because they're just going to flash hook you for Darius, and Jace would just one-tap you. But right now, you want to make it so that it's very awkward for Ornn to just base, and he feels the pressure that, hey, this Vayne might actually legitimately freeze on me. So you want to reposition here. And then the second Ornn steps out, then you start positioning to the right and keep pulling the freeze, essentially. And then try to stall time for the wave to come so that the wave holds right here. And yes, technically, over the period of 2 waves, if you do that, the wave will bounce towards Ornn. Because once the next wave comes, the melees eventually just go into the tower. But here's what... You're not trying to sit here and be like, hard freezing. You're trying to make the Ornn feel uncomfortable to base. That's all you're trying to do by going here. He sticks his head out, going here, maybe even E him, so then you stall more time. Kha'Zix shouldn't be here anymore to jump over the wall. If he is, just flash. That's an L you have to take. And stall time, and hold the freeze. And now Ornn is going to be like, oh shit. Do I stay? Do I base? By the way, the correct call for Ornn is to base no matter what, every single time. But a lot of people don't know that. And that's what you're trying to take advantage of here. And if they stay, congratulations. Shave the wave a little bit, pop your potions, Omnivamp your HP up a little bit, and then start wailing on the Ornn when he tries to clear the next wave. And then if you see an opportunity or an angle to drop that ghost, drop that flash, run him down, go for it, and then we'll figure out the wave state after. But is everything I'm explaining so far here making sense?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is something I've used in the past, but not consciously.
Okay, perfect. I'm very happy that you've done this in the past. But here's the thing with Vayne, by the way. I'm explaining a lot of things and going on hard tangents. And that's the thing with Vayne Top, is there's a lot of hypothetical tangents that break off from one thing that you discuss. But it's all things that truly actually do happen on Vayne. And you have to be able to try to cover every single basis, which is why Vayne Top is such a heavily deep layer champion, where you have to like cover everything. But yeah, let's continue on. By the way, that's really hard to type out, everything I just typed out. That's just something that we're going to keep seeing over and over again as I coach you more and more. Or I'm like, hey, this is the angle for that play again. And you'll slowly keep seeing it happen over and over again until you do it. Okay, you let the wave crash. Now the wave is now slow pushing back towards Ornn. Your down item advantage because he managed to base and get his TP. So right now, it's very important and pivotal that you build up a 2-wave crash here. So you have the cannon, wave 6, and wave 7 is going to be right here. And then you want to hard shove wave 7. So in order to achieve this, what you need to do here is you need to, obviously just last it for now. Chill, last it, maybe even pop a potion, because you see he's TPing back. Right now, you need to ego the Ornn. So you need to make sure that he does not use abilities on the wave. And if he does, and he manages to successfully attack some of the wave, you need to play for a 3-wave crash. So you need to do 6, 7, 8, crash. If you can fully zone the Ornn completely, you can do 6, 7, haha, funny, and then crash the wave, and then base, going into wave 8. So that just depends on how you play out the situation, and if you're able to dodge his abilities or not, and make him shoot the abilities, not at the wave, but at you, and yet dodge them at the same time. So right now, earlier I told you, you want to play aggressive defensively. Now you want to play aggressive aggressively. So that means you want to ego, dodge the Q, dodge the E if you have to, space the W, perfectly space him, whatever it is, and make sure he does not touch the wave. Because you do not want him clearing the wave at all, because you want a nice, clean 6-7 crash or 6-7-8 crash going into him. Ideally, it's 6-7 crash, though, for this situation. So right now, you know, 1,000,000%. Okay, Kha'Zix's bot chill. Kha'Zix's mid chilling. So now, the way you want to reposition this lane goes back to what I explained earlier. It's in a way where you're in position to last hit minions. You're also in position to reset aggression off brushes. You're in position to make Ornn think that you can wail on him. Then he's going to be like, oh. So he's going to sit back. Or he's going to reposition down here. And if he repositions down here, you can then reposition over here. Or you can over-position on him. If there's no minions to last it for a while, and then he's gonna be like, oh fuck, and then he's gonna start running this way. And if you can actually keep up with him to whale autos on him, you can do that too, while dodging his shit. If he obviously runs the river, like an idiot, you will reposition, and then just AF hit right here. And if he actually does that, that's really bad of him, because he's forced to walk around, which is fantastic, because he loses EXP and gold the entire time he's walking around, and that allows you to build 6, 7, and then crash into his tower, and go from there. So it goes back to this. You want to be positioned to min-max every tiny thing as much as you can. And right now, it just so happens you want to do it in a way where you can last hit minions and zone at the same time, even though you're down 2 items on him. So right here, this is very bad. That you give him full access to the wave. You did not try to zone him at all. Did not try to mess with him. Because right now, I see a problem. How do you base? I don't see a base angle at all anymore. The only way, like, yes, you can still do 6, 7, 8 into him and then crash, but you should be playing to do that anyways, regardless. Like, you shouldn't be letting him walk up and clear the wave here. So you should have been over positioned already. And then if he actually full on egos you without a care in the world, you ego back, auto him, dodge his shit, kite backwards, auto. So that doesn't mean like. So I said aggressive if he plays defensively. If he decides to play aggressive too, then you play aggressively defensively to pull his initial engage, then you go forward as hard as you can once you dodge everything. If you get hit by the knockup, it's GG. So don't get hit by the knockup. That's all I have to say. Okay, you can still do 6, 7, 8. It's fine. Pop your HP potion. Okay, you base. It's still fine, not bad. Oh, it's doomed. It's doomed. Oh my god. Okay, and now you force space. So this is now a... This is not a blunder to you actually losing the game, but this is a mistake for sure. Because wave 6, 7... was wave 6 got killed, half of it. Wave 7, you traded with him mid-wave a little bit, as you can see here. Let's see. Right here. So he managed to pull your attention. Not yet. Oh, you never traded with him. You hard shoved. Okay. What was the mistake here? Aside from basing here, obviously. The wave is in a good position for you to base. It's not bad. You'll get back as it crashes, but you won't be able to hold wave 8, 9, 10 in this position. I think the mistake leads all the way back to here. Just right here. This is the mistake right here. That makes it so that wave 8 will get fucked, even if you play perfectly after this. So it was just mainly this. What I would do right here now, what you can do in this exact position is accept that you're playing for a wave 8 crash and purposely stand in the wave and walk up and have Ornn Q the wave. And what you do now is you dodge that Q and you only last hit this wave and hard zone the Ornn as hard as you can. Just start wailing autos on him. Once you realize it's warded, then you can play down here. Stall for wave 8, hard crash wave 8, and then take your base. That's what you should do here. Since you messed up wave 6. Okay. Do you have any questions about anything I've discussed here so far?
No.
Okay, and
I got the
everything...
note pattern.
Yeah, everything is in regards to Vayne's shitty wave clear. If you asked me for coaching on any other champion, which you shouldn't, by the way, none of this matters. Because if you fuck up a wave, just Irelia E, Q, the entire wave, you're good. You see that? But then Vayne, like, it's a whole different story. You're sitting here wailing, like, 17 autos to clear one wave. So you have to play the game like this, where we have to, like, min-max and think about every tiny wave detail. Think about, oh, how are we going to catch the next wave? This is not slimy at all. If anything, this is... You're throwing yourself in the deep end, understanding the hardest champion to wave management on, which is really good, because if you figure out waves exactly, which you slowly will, under my guidance, you will become a fucking monster. That's all I have to say. Alright, let's keep going. In a good way. What was your buy? Okay. Did I do this? Let me see. I think the buy was wrong. $766, $350, $500, dagger, longsword, boots, refill potion. I think this is supposed to be a refill potion somewhere in here, for sure. So the way I always do my initial purchases is I always try to find a way to incorporate refill potions if possible. So try to grab a refill potion first, then figure out the buys after. Most of the times you'll end up with a dagger with your items, but I don't think you should leave without a refill potion. On top of that, with this buy, I think you're buying Essence for this game, right? Which I really dislike. Because in this particular game, as much as people hate Blade of the Rune King on Vayne, I think you need Blade of the Rune King. I'm not gonna lie. Because when it comes to...
I built work and just sat on a longsword for half the game.
Oh, then that means you just purchased it correctly then.
Yeah.
I think you autopilot bot here. But yeah, if you're going the Bork build, you don't actually get a second longsword until if you decide to buy Terminus 3rd or Hexplate 3rd or even QSS 4th if you go Wits End. I don't think Wits End even has a long... I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, if you buy double LS... oh, yeah, 2 LSs. You're not going to use that second LS until the 3rd item. At fastest. So avoid doing that. So dagger here, for sure. And a refill potion 100% next time. Let's see how good you are buying. Ding. Good. Okay, so whenever you're in base, and I'm going to cover this one time. I cover this with every student. You probably already know this. Immediately, click towards the edge of fountain. And from here to here, you're buying your items. You should have, if you really want to min-max, you can create item sets for common item paths, or just memorize where they are, or just find the items really quickly. But you should never be AFK here, being like, oh, what do I buy? You should know exactly what you're buying in loading screen, 100%. And then from here to here, you're buying. And now the only question you need to ask yourself now is, do I need to wait here for HP? That's the only question you need to ask yourself. And then from there, if you need to wait for HP, that's you stand out there, wait for the HP, and then start going. 3 tumbles to lane, and you're chilling. And the question is how much mana you have to wait for? If you have low mana, do you use Qs, 3 Qs to get to lane, or do you only use 2 Qs, or only 1 Q? Lots of questions that you have to ask yourself. But do you have any questions in regards to this?
No.
To min-max. Perfect. If there's an Ezreal ult coming, and you need that extra second to back up, or a Jinx ult, to gain that much more HP to live, do that. But if you're able to see that Ezreal or Jinx ult coming, into vase, you should cancel your vase and then restart that shit. You know what I mean? Unless you have a certain amount of HP where you know dinking the fountain for 1 second is enough to still be able to tank the Ezreal Alter Jinx ult that's coming, where you have to back up 1 step. But yeah, that's a very 1 in a million niche scenario, but I'm just covering it in case one day you actually run into it, and then you can be like, yup, Saskia had me covered in that situation. Okay. Whenever running back to lane, you should be tumbling 3 times, especially when you're full mana. 2 times minimum if you're full mana, 100%. 3 times is optional for the 3rd time. If you're going to Saskia engage, which I'm sure you know what that is, it's where you invis engage. I'm sure you've done it a million times, where you ult around right here, and then you Q around right here, just outside of melee vision range, so that you can show up right beside your opponents. Then you don't Q a 3rd time if you're Saskia engaging. But aside from that, always double Q no matter what if you're full mana. If you're not full mana, Q 1 time right away. And then hold the mana for the rest of it as you come back. Do you have any questions for that?
No.
Okay, perfect. Get into a habit of always thinking about, is someone here? Is someone here? When you're running back. Now, I'm not saying you need to hover the wall. But what I am saying is you need to be mindful of it so that if you see anything fly out of that bush, you are immediately tumbling to the left or something, or flashing or anything, I don't know. But one of the worst things you can do is autopilot AFK and just walk back to lane and then just get chunked or die. I'm sure it's happened to you already, 100%. But you need to be mindful of that every single time. And your body needs to be on alert so that you can avoid that and not die and lose the game. Obvious stuff for if it does happen, but it does happen to a lot of people. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. When walking back, be mindful of people cheating from the brush. Hover away if scared. If not, be ready to deal with it. Alright, here we go. Wave state is slow pushing towards the Ornn. You're going to be doing 2-wave crash here. Something you have to acknowledge is what's the next wave? Is it a cannon or a non-cannon? So you want to take a look. Okay, it's going to be a double non-cannon crash. So what you want to do is just go like this, crash. And the reason why it's very important to be mindful of the next wave is because you need to understand how long you're going to be standing there clearing the next wave. If this is a cannon wave right now, you need to know, okay, I'm going to be positioned right here wailing on the cannon for quite a while. So I'm going to be mindful that I can get ganked by Kha'Zix because obviously you see him, but if you don't, that you'll be standing here longer. So you're going to position a bit more accordingly to be able to deal with that gank and be able to pop ghost and run away so that the meetup point is somewhere around here if you guys decide to run into each other. And if it's a non-cannon wave, you can push a lot quicker. Right here, again, this is a mistake. You know exactly where Kha'Zix is. He's literally dead. So right now, you should be up here. Auto attack into the brush. He wards. Cool. Ping the ward. Leave. And then figure out your gameplay from there. Whether you want to poke him from a defensive angle or not. Boom. Get his ass. Did you mess up there? Let me see. So right now you're messing up just from your positioning in the first place, knowing that Kha'Zix is dead. But we'll avoid that. Auto into the brush. Good. Auto. Okay. I think you were accounting for his Q, right? That's why you tumbled like this? Okay, that makes sense. But you lost that angle. Okay, you want a hard shove now? You do not want to slow push. Hard shove, 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 shove. And what you can do here is you can walk up more aggressively. And I'm not asking you to enter his range. No. I'm not asking you to do that at all. What I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to fake like you're wanting to auto attack Ornn. In reality, all you want to do right now is 100% just wail on the wave. You do not want to touch Ornn at all because you do not want a situation where you are right here for the next wave wailing on a cannon for 10 years. That's the last thing that you want. You want to crash this wave. So then Ornn can do his bounce back, or you can figure out your wave state when the cannon actually comes. So right now, what you want to do here is walk up. Walk up and be exactly outside of his Q range. Never be entering his Q range, but when you're moving, okay, you want to be walking directly towards him and then immediately out. And what that does is that signals to Ornn, hey Ornn, I'm going to auto attack you. Run. And how he's gonna read that signal is gonna be like, oh fuck. Yes, he's gonna take a step back. Then he's gonna walk forward. He's gonna, oh shit, he's walking forward again. And all you're doing is just jiggling back and forth, looking like you're gonna auto attack Ornn. And of course, if you see minions that are about to finish off minions, don't be close enough that they transition to you after. You want to back up if you see that's the case, where mage minions are like clearing all melees, then they're gonna transition to you. You want to be backing up before that happens. Then once the mages solidify themselves again, then you walk forward again. But all you're doing again here is just wailing on melees, faking like you're gonna auto attack Ornn, and making sure that he thinks twice before he actually does anything to the wave. So he doesn't clear the wave as fast, and you can get a nice clean crash, and then play for plates after. And then deal with the next cannon wave accordingly once you get there. But by sitting to this far back, it makes him comfortable to maybe wail on some minions with QW or whatever, and shave the wave, which is what you don't want to happen here. Right there, I really like that you did this thing right here, where you went melee distance. That's something I teach a lot of Vayne players. It's right here. If your auto attack is not going to be available, or you're not going to Q or E or whatever, your next best move is to go as close to the minion as possible to attack the minion. And the reason why you do that is because you want your bolt to have less distance to travel before it reaches the minion, so it outpaces any mage or melee autos that comes. If you trying to secure a minion with no Q or E, and don't use E ever unless you have blue buff on a cannon, go melee distance. So your bolt has less distance to travel to reach the minion. Now, this also applies to towers. So if you notice, okay, let's say you're taking a tower, and you notice, oh shit, opposite side's losing, and the enemy's also taking the tower. What you do in that situation is you recognize how close is it going to be. If it's going to be close, where it's like down to the absolute wire, you also go melee distance to the tower. So your bolt has less distance to travel, and like, let's say the enemy ADC is standing at maximum range. You see how his bolt has to travel all the way? If it's that close of a battle for first blood tower, you're going to win first if you're melee distance. So that's something that you have to recognize if you want to get first blood tower. And it's a little bit of extra money or whatever. But again, we're playing Vayne, we're min-maxing everything, and we're seeing everything across the map as much as we can. So this applies to towers too. And only do this strategy of going melee distance if you're not going to die. It's that simple. If you're not going to die or take a massive Poe. Like if there's a J standing right here, don't do that shit. So it's not worth it. But Ornn's obviously AFK, so you're good to go. Go melee distance and go from there. And off that, I may as well go off another random tangent, because I know you're going to run into this problem in the future too. There's a difference between last hitting and last hitting. Last hitting is easy. Kill minion, 1 low HP. The last hitting is when you kill a minion at almost absolute lowest. And I'm sure you can figure out the difference of why that changes everything. So instead of killing a minion at 70 HP, which is normal for Vayne, you kill a minion at 30 HP. And what that does is that makes it so that that minion stays on the map longer. And this could maybe lead to you stalling out a potential tower dive where you're waiting for a jungler to come by an extra 1 second. So that's 1 extra second where he's not clearing the wave as your jungler's getting there. Or maybe you're holding a weird freeze where you have like 2 mages and 1 melee at a certain amount of HP, but you need their minions to survive longer so that their minions wail on your minions longer, and that your minions wail an extra auto on that minion so that the auto's flying in midair, instead of having that minion transition to another minion and start wailing on a new one. And what that does is I don't know what situation you're gonna run to when you use it, but most commonly it's being done when you're holding freezes, so that the freeze keeps holding as long as possible with a certain amount of minions, or you're trying to stall an extra 1 or 2 seconds before a tower dive. That's it. That's the only times I see people that I personally ever use this strategy. But I'm just putting this piece of information here so that when you mess something up, and I think it's going to be a freeze when you mess it up, where you're like, ooh, I attacked like half a second too early, and it fucked the entire freeze. Because half a second could be the difference between holding that freeze or not. If your mage minion has to whale an extra auto or not. So I'm just throwing this really random piece of information here for you. But do you have any questions about anything I just discussed? About melee distance or last hitting?
No, I'm familiar with those two.
Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, so right here, I really dislike... Wait, is the basing good here? Nah, basing's bad here. 597. I don't know. I don't like this base. Because right here... I think this is a mistake. Because right now, you see Kha'Zix 100%. Sona will not gank an Ornn. You already know that 100%. It's not happening. I think you keep wailing on the tower as much as you can, or Ornn. And you stay. Because 725, I don't think it's worth. That's Cull, but you don't want a 6-minute Cull. If you were going to grab Cull, it would be on the other base, which is fine if you want to grab Cull there. But not this base. 725 is not worth. And warding here is absolute trash too, because you know Kha'Zix is boss side who just killed your Sejuani, so he won't be top. The fastest he can be top is channel base 618. Actually, I'm gonna quiz you to get you a bit more involved. If Kha'Zix was to base here, when did you get to top lane? If you stayed.
I don't know, but my estimate would be 640.
Okay. It is 646 that Kha'Zix gets to top lane. Because if he channels base right now, it's 625 base. He jumps, and we both know it's 20 seconds to get to top lane, which is something I'll teach you to perfectly time. So that means 625, 645, he gets the tier 1 tower if he ran to tier 1 tower. But he's obviously not going to do that. He's going to run around. So actually, if anything, it's going to be 648. So 648, he's going to be into this bush from this position. You have until 648 to pressure. And that's plenty of time to wail on this tower as much as you can. And then wail on this wave, and then base. And then leave as he's almost here. Because you will still be killing this minion at 648. 100%. If you decide to stay. So right here, I would not base. Only because we know Kha'Zix is on Dragon. I'd rather just wail on tower. May I ask you what was going through your mind here? Where you're like, oh, I'm going to base so that he has to push the cannon back so I can spend my money. Like, what was going through your mind?
Just static.
Static?
No thoughts.
Oh, no
Yeah.
thoughts. Okay, no thoughts. Okay. If your ass got chunked out, yes, I would base here. Be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not staying anymore. But if you got chunked out by Ornn, I think you played the matchup wrong. But basing here is just incorrect for sure. You should be min-maxing your ranged advantage on him in this situation. However, I will say this. If you were to base, now... not now. The cannon wave is the best time to base. Because if he shaves his entire minion wave as fast as he can, and the cannon crashes, that cannon will tank like 8 tower shots or something before it dies, which means you only lose a melee. And you'll probably get back barely just to touch the cannon to get the gold. Worst case scenario, you grab the EXP. And on top of that, if he has to clear a whole cannon, so that means he needs to wail on the entire thing the entire time, so it's even slower. So my argument here is if you are going to base, it's always best on a cannon wave, no matter what. But
Did I lose that turret plate there?
no, you got it by willing. Yeah,
Okay.
you willed it at one time, which is good. Also, another quick piece of advice. Be careful when you 3-wave crash. A big wave, and it's a big 3-wave crash. And you're instant cheater resetting. Don't touch the crystallines on wave 3. Because sometimes you'll break the crystallines really far down, you'll base, and the minions will finish it off, and you won't actually get the gold. So keep that in mind. Don't forget that, okay? So either you wail on it until it dies, or don't touch it at all. And 90% of the time, never touch the crystallines on wave 3. If you're cheater basing, 90% of the time, 100%. How many Qs did you use to get to Deck Lane? Hold up.
1 maybe.
I see too much mana in your inventory. Oh, bonus points, by the way, if you tumble from here to here, and then buy from here to here. If you're going to instantly just leave base. But if you're not going to instantly leave base, there's no point tumbling. If you're going to wait for HP and mana. Okay, so you did 2 bases against the lane, which is fine. The only thing I was watching out for there was your mana bar. The second your mana bar touches 370, you did not min-max Vayne. Because if you're full mana, you're not regaining mana, is the best way for me to describe it. You want to use mana so you get mana back, essentially. But the biggest problem here was you didn't tumble 3 times, so you didn't get back to lane as fast. However, that wasn't the case needed at all, because you didn't actually lose any minions for it. But yeah, I'm just explaining as much min-max as you can just to get here faster, so that Ornn sees your presence faster, so he leaves your tower faster, which is good. But the biggest thing is making sure you're never full mana, ever. When walking back to lane, at least. Never be full mana. How can we get this mage minion? Let's see, that last one. Let me see. It's a tight one. It's tight for sure. Okay. This is what I think you do to get this mage minion. You stand here, and as the tower shot's coming down, you also need to fire your auto. But the auto has to be timed in a way where the tower shot touches the mage minion first by 1 millisecond, and the next millisecond, your auto attack lands on the mage minion exactly. Because right now we can see clearly that every minion's gonna wail on this in a second, but the tower shot is too slow. But you obviously have no Q either, and you won't get the Q fast enough. So your only best bet here is to do a long-range delayed auto, where it's flying out long distance. I noticed that whenever I do this long-range last hitting, where I time it to touch a millisecond after the tower shot comes down, the long-range ones do better than the melee distance ones. Because melee distance is so hard to time the auto to touch at a millisecond as the tower shot's coming down. But a long-range auto, for some reason, feels easier. But do you understand what I'm trying to what message I'm trying to convey to you here? Okay. I can't coach this. This is very hard to coach. This is a feel, for sure, 100%, for this exact scenario. Yeah, that one was hard to last it. I don't know. But I'm sure you'll see angles to do exactly what I just said in the future, and you'll see, oh shit, Sasuke wasn't lying. It actually works when you stand like that on certain minions. Okay. Going back to the lane here, you are playing full AFK with a ward in this bush. Obviously, Kha'Zix can do one of these bad boys on you, where he just rafts like this. But if that does happen, you just ghost alt Q to dodge R2, and you Q in a really weird way, and then you survive from there. So I would not be playing full defensive here. You should be playing full aggressive. Not aggressive, but just aggressive. Just one word, aggressive. Because if you play aggressive and just dive into him, you obviously lose. No questions asked. So you need to play aggressive, dodge his abilities. Once the abilities come out, then you aggressive on him. But you should not play defensively, which is what you're doing right now, or aggressive defensively. That's not good. Because right now, you are even CS with Ornn. Absolutely illegal in this matchup. You should be 20 CS up on him, or you should be 0-3 right now, one or the other. trying to be 20 CS up on him and trying to be up plates on him, one or the other. But right now, being 0-0-0 is not good at all. 0-0-0 is fine, but not even CS at least. You should either be 20 CS up, you should be 2 plates up, or 0-4. One or the other, I'm happy with any 3 options for sure. Because if you're 0-4, that means you were trying to do some dumb shit. If you were trying to actually win. Or you're up CS on him right now. But even is not good. Okay, you should be hard whaling the next wave, and you should be zoning him from the wave as much as you can. Okay, right here, in this exact scenario, you need to act stupid. So I don't think you were acting stupid enough here. So right here, not yet. Okay, right here. You want to tumble in his face, right here. From to the left. Don't tumble to the right here. Tumble to the left. Tank an Ornn Q to the face. Tank an Ornn E to the face. And then go from there. And I'm sure you know why, obviously, why we're doing this. But you should not act smart at all here. You should act complete stupid and be like, oh, fuck, my bad, type shit. Where you tumble here, auto, and then be like, oh, shit, immediately path backwards to sell the Ornn on you being stupid. And what that does is that baits the Ornn. Oh my god, this guy is stupid, he misclicked. I'm eating forward. Bada bing, bada boom, you pop your ult. Ding, ding, ding. Dead. I think you tried selling it right there, but it wasn't. It's too. It's not. The sauce isn't there. You know what I mean? It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Okay, you messed up this play. Let me explain. Okay, so this is good. Right here, you need to pop ult, auto, and then E. And the reason why you do this is when you ult, you gain extra AD so that your E does more damage into the wall. Personally, what I would do here is I would ult, Q right here, auto E, so that the angle is a bit deeper from the E to be like this instead of like this. Although you can argue with me and be like, Saskia, if I do that, he's not gonna get eaten into the wall. That's up for you. That's up for debate, whatever. But that's one angle. Your angle's fine, but you just need to ult. Because right now, we both agree, 1,000,000%. Ornn cannot move for this duration. So you will land the E into the wall. I don't know why you're not ulting here. Because it's clearly going to be an all-in. 100%. So you lost an extra... I'm not saying, like, 70 damage. But you lost 40, 50 damage. You can agree on that, 100%. For sure. From the AD scaling that you would get from ult. And yep, you lost 90 movement speed to run to him faster, to auto him again faster, to output the damage faster. Oh, you auto him again without ult. Oh my god, a third time. That's not good. So right now his HP is supposed to be significantly lower. On top of that, you need to take a slight step backwards one time, so that Sejuani gets in, and then you can go forward. And then now you guys delay. Obviously, it still works out, but it's not clean, as you can see. You're half HP. Imagine if Kha'Zix was right here, just jumping on you, you're dead. Insta, no flash. There's no flash angle here. You can't see it. Unless you blind flash, thinking that Kha'Zix is there, which is dumb to do. So yeah, do you have any questions about how you should play that play?
No, I knew afterwards that I should have ulted sooner. I, for some reason, just didn't think that he would die right away.
Yeah. And that's something a lot of players, Vayne players, fail to do. Because they, for a lack of better words, they're like, oh shit, I get a free Vayne E here. So the first thing that comes to their mind is Vayne E. But no, it should be cool, calm, collected. We're going to pop the ultimate. We're going to pop an auto E if I have time. If you have no time to auto E, then you just E. Because if you auto E, and his stun breaks, and he flashes, and he gets E'd at the new location, and he's that close to tower, that might have fucked the play. So E'ing first might actually be the correct play sometimes. I just don't know when. It's obviously when CC timer doesn't align. But yeah. But yeah. When does Ornn get to top right now?
8:35.
Close. It's around 8:33. It's 20 seconds from base, roughly. And of course, each champion has different base movement speeds. But you're correct for the most part. But extra 2 seconds, which is wrong. So right here, you auto-attack tower, and then you base right now. You don't back up. Because you know exactly where Kha'Zix is. He's dancing around your teammates. No, he's dead. I take that back. And you know You know in the future now when Ornn gets back, which is 8:30. You said 8:35, which is wrong. It's 8:33. So you're allowed to just base right here because your base is done on 8:24, 8:23. So you can base right now. And if you want to min max and try to be absolute perfect, which I don't suggest you to do at all, you can stay until 8:21 willing on the tower extra for free for an 8:28 base. But I still wouldn't do that either because you're going to be losing minions on the next wave naturally to the next wave. So I'd rather just base right away. But do you understand everything I'm saying here to try to get the min max base?
Yeah.
Okay, because backing up to this bush is a waste. Unless you think the support is coming. Then, yes, you back up. 8:33, Ornn shows up. You're not wrong, 8:35 he touches the wave, but 8:33 is when he shows. And it's very important to understand the difference because let's say you decide to do a perfect base on someone, right? Where you're basing on this spot right as they show up. Some champions can fuck with you, like JC can EQ across the map. Like some champions can even flash to stop your base. That's a possibility. Some champions like Diana can QE to a melee minion and then E to you, which speeds up their timer. These are things that you have to be mindful of if you're trying to get an absolute perfect min-max base. Is things like that. Some champions even ghost towards you. Like I had a Jace base. He tried doing a min-max base on me, and yes, it would have worked. Or I would have showed up exactly right here, right when he finished his base. But what I did here was I popped the ghost right here, and then I caught his ass. So you have to be mindful of these things when you base like that. And you will be basing like that in the future to get absolute min-maxes. Oh, that melee midget. This is sad. All good. No. Okay. Okay. That one was wrong too. That one should have been a backup one step in auto, so that your auto's in mid-air already, so that the melee minion can wail on it once or twice, 2 more times, then it dies. That's correct. That's correct. This one you can auto Q away so that you're as far away as possible and then immediately auto attack. So that you get that one extra mage auto to land before your tumble auto hits. So it's chunked a tiny bit more. That's the play that you can do here for this mage minion. But tumbling right away is bad. But if you are going to tumble right away, you have to wait for the tower shot. And yet the time that auto attack at max range to touch a millisecond after the tower shot lands, which I don't think it'll work out. You have to do an auto Q here for this mage minion. Sorry, I sound very like weird arguing all these tiny details, but this is how I operate when I play Vayne to get every resources I can. And I think that's how you should start thinking too.
I'm very used to Triforce Vayne, so you'll see me queue a lot when I don't need to do the minions. Alright, let's continue. Good. You play cautiously away from this bush. You obviously don't want to stand here in case he just pops a ding ding if he actually has flash, or Kha'Zix just immediately jump over a wall. Left side is always safer, but outside of his range, obviously. Obviously, if it's a Jace, you're gonna play right side. you already know that, but yeah, close enough to be left side, far enough to not get hit by any initial abilities right off the rip if he's actually in the bush. Beautiful. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I really just like this ward. Like, I think it's better to just hold your ward and then just get ganked instead of seeing the gank coming. Because here's the problem. If you see Kha'Zix coming, you're already gonna get Ornn ulted. And you may as well have an extra ward when you get ganked, because you're gonna be playing with these bushes, obviously. And then Ornn's gonna be in it, Kha'Zix's gonna be in it, and to be able to ward it when you turn on them is higher value than seeing a Kha'Zix gank coming. So I feel like you're crutching yourself on purpose by trying to play smart. And the smart play obviously is to see the gank coming, run away, avoid the gank. I don't like that. Instead, I'd rather have you try to be like me and not see the gank coming, but rather have to come up with a unique solution to outplay the gank. Because by doing that, you're putting yourself in a worse position and forcing yourself to find unique ways to win 1v2 angles that is possible, rather than just crushing yourself and just running away from the gank and surviving, being like, yay, I survived. Because you're not going to reach Challenger by playing smart like this, where it's like you're avoiding the ganks. Yes, some games require you to do this, where you're just AFK farming. But right now, the best thing for you is to purposely throw yourself into the lion's den and force yourself to have to win 1v2s and be like, okay, or an R1ing, or an R1 hits me, I'm going to face this direction, and then I'm going to alt Q this way, so the Orin R2 goes this way, then I'm going to auto the Kha'Zix, walk away from Orin, I'll tank the Kha'Zix ability, I'll move to the left like 2 units to maybe dodge Kha'Zix W that fires out like this if he evolved it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you start operating and thinking like that, that will be a massive service to you. So that when you reach Challenger and you choose to actually play smart like this, or you choose to continue playing like how you did on your come up, which is how I'm trying to teach you right now, you will find a lot more success trying to operate and think like that rather than this. But do you understand my mindset that I'm trying to put onto you right now?
Yeah, definitely. I usually would play to 1v2 them, but I've just been... I'm very new to playing in high elo lobbies, so I've been more defensive than I should.
Okay, so you did the noob adaptation where you're like, oh shit, I'm playing in high elo type shit. So you're like you're getting scared, which is wrong. Okay.
I think I got ganked by Yumi here. My cat jumped on my desk.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Right now, are you recognizing in your mind that Sona can gank you in 20 seconds, 25 seconds, roughly?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't pay attention to the enemy support.
Okay. That's too crazy. Okay. Obviously, it's very easy to do when you see them on map, but this is something that I do too very heavily. Maybe because I'm getting old, but I've gotten ganked by my fair share of supports too many times over the years. So it's nowadays something that I say in my videos is, okay, support off map, their fastest gank timer is X. I'm going to be mindful of it. So I play aggressive until it's around 10 seconds until they're there. And then I start to play defensively until they show bot lane or mid lane or anywhere that they can be showing. And if they're not showing at all, I just full AFK. And I absolutely respect it. So that is where you're allowed to play smart, where you're playing to absolutely protect your life, where playing aggressive can actually get you killed. Because the thing with support ganks is, I told you that you can 1v2 jungle and top lane ganks, which is fine, but you can't 1v3. You see that? It's not consistent enough to 1v3, 3 full HP targets, but it's consistent enough for me to tell you to 1v2, 2 targets, so that's fine. So that's why I'm very mindful of support ganks. So right now, you could have got Ornn ganked. It's a possibility right now. Because of a Sona Ornn gank. But it's most likely accompanied with a Kha'Zix gank if it does happen. Okay, let's keep going. Oh! 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 No! Okay, how would I play this? Let's see. Wait, why are you chunked? Let me see. Why are you chunked? What happened here? Did you mess up? I think you messed up. Okay, this is fine. Okay, you're tanking Ornn Q, and then you find out that the bush is warded. That's why you got chunked. Okay. Okay. Yeah, whenever you're approaching Ornn, your movements should not be direct. It should be at a off weird angle. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to explain. The angle is like as if you're preemptively kind of juking an ability already. Yeah, it's hard to explain that, but there is a slight difference in that movement when it comes to my gameplay and other people. This was your hard mistake, right? Oh, he predicted you. Okay. Ooh. So this is a good opportunity for me to explain an important concept that I'm sure you're already aware of, but I have to explain this anyways. Okay, so zone of influence. Very simple concept. It's the area somebody can impact in League of Legends. So, do you know what scripting in League of Legends is?
Yeah.
Scripting is obviously cheating. You've probably seen Xerath scripts on YouTube before where it shows the circles of everyone's abilities, cooldowns, bullshit, like how fast their abilities fly, whatever. That is exactly what you want to do in your brain when you're playing League of Legends. Exactly the exact same thing. So right now, what should be going through your mind is, okay, Ornn R1 is going to shoot like this. And then Ornn R2 is going to fly out, and you should be calculating, okay, it's going to take roughly 2 to 3 seconds for this Ornn ram to go towards Ornn. And then he's going to fire it back. And the fire back is very quick. It's going to be another like 1 second. So this is the time that you have to like do some weird shit to be able to escape or whatever. To think about like, oh, should you face this way? So you get hit by R1, and then you alt Q over here, so he thinks that you're going this way, whatever. But zone of influence, area somebody can impact. It's how long an ability is, how wide, how far, how fast, blocked on minions, and all that stuff. Moving forward, you want to be calculating people's zone of influences 24/7 when you're in a game. And the way you do this is, it's just, for me, I've been playing the game for so long now, I can just feel someone's range. You know what I mean? When you enter someone's auto attack range, like let's say Caitlyn in bot lane, right? You can just feel it. Like same as Blitzcrank. Whenever you enter Blitzcrank Q range, you can feel it. Like you feel, okay, I'm inside the range. Now, the thing with zone of influence is I'm not telling you to stand outside of someone's range. You have to enter people's ranges. You have no choice to operate and do whatever it is you want to do, whether you want to poke a minion, whether you want to attack them themselves. But all I'm asking is, when it comes to utilizing the zone of influence concept, is when you are in someone's range and they do what they are going to do, the question is very simple. What are you going to do about it? That's it. That's the only question. Are you going to tank the ability because it's worth it? Are you going to already be moving in a weird way to dodge the ability? Are you going to like hard juke it before he even shoots the ability, which is something that happens? So be mindful when you enter someone's zone of influence. When they do what they're going to do, what are you going to do about it? So that's zone of influence. Next, I explained that. The next thing I'm going to explain is layer 0. I'm jumping to a different concept now within zone of influence. Layer 0, layer 1, layer 2. And you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about as I explain it.
I believe I'm familiar with this.
Oh, you're familiar with it. Okay. But I'm going to explain it anyways to make sure it's on paper for you. So right now, you are Vayne. You're walking this way. Lee Sin is standing right here, and he sees, oh, Vayne's walking right here. He just shoots the Lee Sin Q at you. And for you, you are moving at a layer 1. You are unconscious. And what this means is, you're not thinking about, oh, the Lee Sin Q is hitting me in my trajectory, and you just keep walking. And this is how a lot of noobs operate in League of Legends. Because they just don't even know. Layer 1 is you're running this way. You see Lee Sin right here. You anticipate Lee Sin's gonna shoot his Q where you're going. So you either hold S or you back up. That is a conscious juke. Conscious juke. Now, you see Lee Sin here. You're running this way. You anticipate that Lee Sin's gonna shoot Q behind you. So then you continue walking forward like an idiot. And then you dodge his ability. So this is a conscious, no juke. So that is layer 2. Now, when it comes to shooting skill shots, the person shooting the skill shot has to be on the same layer as the person juking to land the skill shot. If the person shooting the skill shot's on the opposite layer, they miss the skill shot. But do you understand the layer 0, layer 1, layer 2 concept?
Yeah.
Okay.
right here. You layer 1 queued. Thinking that Ornn would queue you like this right here. So then you layer 1 queued over here and juked like this. However, he also layer 1 shot an ability at you. Because an unconscious Ornn would have shot his Q right here. But because this guy's conscious, he shot his Q right here and layer 1'd your ass. On your layer 1 juke. So he landed the Q. And it might seem like a small deal, you just got hit by Q, but no, you got hit by an Ornn after. And it's not even the damage that he did to you, which was crazy. It's the principles of the gameplay when you want to min-max every tiny thing possible. Now, in a game of League of Legends, every single person plays with layers and they adapt. If an Ornn or if an Amumu ganks you, and he sees that you're juking a certain way, he's not stupid. In the next gank, he's gonna shoot a weird layer Q. You need to be able to recognize that you're in a game with someone, that someone is playing a weird way, a certain way, and you need to be able to adapt. You can't keep letting them predict you over and over again, which it does happen to me sometimes. Like it is what it is. When another player is on equal skill level as you. But right now, I'm just explaining this concept to you so you know what the hell is going on when it's actually happening to you. So you can start adapting your playstyle to it too. Because this is going to happen very commonly when you're against a Nocturne. Because Nocturne's going to ult you. You're going to run away. Nocturne's ulting in on you. And then you ult. And then you're going to Q this way. Towards their base. Nocturne's going to E you. He's going to run this way. He's going to be like, oh shit, the Vayne's behind me. Turns on you, right? And then you can kill him or whatever from there. Once you break his E. Second time he ults you, you do the same thing. Third time he ults you, you go forward towards the tower. Do you understand? Because now the Nocturne's gonna ult on you, he's gonna E, then he's gonna immediately turn around because he did it to him twice. So now, of course, the Nocturne could also be smart enough to realize that you're not gonna go forward, but you're also gonna go backwards a third time, and then he also goes backwards with you. You know what I mean? So I just want you to understand that this is a game that will be played 1000%. In one singular game of League of Legends on the third and fourth play. And it's going to be on you to get inside your opponent's minds to know that I think this guy's going to think this, so I'm going to do this in this situation with this invisibility. And Vayne is one of the few champions in League of Legends that constantly has to apply this concept in every single game due to her invisibility. That's the only reason. Due to that, the constant invisibility gameplay. Okay, let's keep going. I think you fully understand that concept, and you will absolutely run into that problem in your games. Okay, so right now, you see Kha'Zix. Okay, I think the Ornn R2 like this, by the way, because he realized that if you went this way, you're probably still dead anyways, because Kha'Zix will cut you off 100%. But I really think that your Q was bad, because it's not the fact that you're even going into Kha'Zix the problem. That's not a problem at all. Okay, if you're Ornn right now, where do you think Vayne is?
Exactly where I was.
Right here, right? So then he would shoot the R2 here. So you didn't do anything special to make him do some weird ability. Like, I think, again, I'm not sure if he's smart enough to just know that he should shoot. Like, I would shoot my Ornn R2 here, by the way. Exactly where he shot it. That was perfect from him. Because you're running to Kha'Zix no matter what. Because if he shoots a prediction, and that's not even a prediction, that's a pretty fair prediction, right? Like, it's very fair to shoot this Ornn R2 right here. But you actually went this way, he fucked the kill. He 100% fucked the kill. So he could be that smart. But right now, the point I'm trying to get to is you did nothing special to try to juke his abilities. Because I would have, like, faced this way as R1 hit me, and then Q'd this way. And then the R2 would shoot out here, and then I would play from there. Because right now, you did like a double layer movement where you faced that direction and you went in that direction, right? So that's like, you're already on layer 2 gameplay
But unless you think this guy is playing on layer 1 already, or playing that deep into the layers of you two, I don't think this is a good cue. Do you understand the argument I'm trying to make here?
Think yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what you did was double correct, because you built distance away and as close to Sejuani as possible. And you also did the juke at the same time. So you had a double victory, but it was risky. I would have had a single victory. I would have faced this way, then this way. But your character's over here when you open on Kha'Zix. My character would have been right here when I opened on Kha'Zix, which would have resulted in my death. So maybe your play was correct. But the question is did you do what you did on purpose because you thought that deep into it, is my question now. Do you see what I'm trying to argue here?
No,
now
it was layer zero.
Are you actually intentional to be like, I'm gonna move this way consciously as an unconscious move, then unconsciously, consciously go this way so that my distance is that much closer to Sejuani to make this play on Kha'Zix? So the intentionality part is going to be very important moving forward now. So by the way I would have played this, I probably would have died, because the E would not have gotten Kha'Zix into those wall. It would have pushed him like here. So then I would have died 100%. But because of your gameplay, you lived. So, yep. Ah, so sad. Okay.
No idea she was here.
So sad. Do we know she's there? Let's see. Okay, we see Sona mid. On paper, you're supposed to know she's there, on paper. But in reality, I know your eyeballs are not looking at the minimap at all. 100%.
Even while recalling her, I think I had time to run away from her. I was just stressing the Kha'Zix and the Ornn and not really paying attention to the map.
I understand what's going through your mind right now. Moving forward, what you should be thinking about here is, so obviously you did not see Sona mid. Obviously, we all know. You should be looking at bot lane. Is Sona bot? Where's my Xerath? Xerath is one running top, 100%. This is free information now that we know 100%. That's available to us. If the Sona is not smacking your Seraphine bot lane, and the Xerath is running top lane, that's two key pieces of information here. Aside from not seeing Sona mid, that should prompt you to just run to this tower. So this is something that you have to be mindful of in the future. And on top of that, you should also be thinking about Ezreal ult, Jinx ults, and cross-map ults. So then, if that's the case, you would like base like right here. like this is like who the fuck bases here? You know what I mean? For that shit. Most people would base right here. So keep these things in mind. But because of these two pieces of information, no Sona, Xerath rotating top, hell no. I'm going here or I'm going here, and then taking my base and calling it a day. And what I'm teaching right now is 20/20 vision. I'm only teaching you this because it's after the fact. But 20/20 vision coaching is very valid because you can utilize this to avoid similar situations in the future from happening again. So in the future, you can spot things like this. And better yet, another piece of advice is base in a damn bush. You know what I'm saying? Base in a damn bush. Because them not knowing or knowing, it could be the difference between you finishing the base or not. Because I'm sure you finished it bases before where someone walks into the bush, warded it, then realized, oh shit, they're basing the bush, use an ability. But you're already gone. But if they see you outside the bush, they already know, oh, okay, he has 2 more seconds to finish base, I can reach him, land my ability, he's dead. But if you're in a bush, it stalls that much more time for you to be able to actually finish your base. Any questions for this stuff right here?
No.
Are you in the bush? I don't think you are, right? Oh,
I
God.
thought I was, but I don't think I am.
Ding. Oh, yeah, you actually would have lived, by the way. You go into the bush, and then you flash over this wall. You still would have lived. Because the Sona would not have vision. The only way she kills you is if she, from here, insta-flashes here, wards the bush, perfectly shoots the Q, while you're still showing him for 0.1 seconds, have it fly towards you, and then you're dead. That's the only way he can kill you. But I think you were far enough that still wouldn't happen. If you're paying attention to it. Yeah. Yeah, you would have been fine. Instant to the bush. Don't flash from here to here. Flash from here to here. Maybe like right here. That's too far. Like right here. There's a difference between flashing over the wall here versus flashing the wall here. That's like a 0.1 millisecond difference. That's the difference between maybe Sona getting enough distance to flash here, ward here, max range Q there. Ding. You want to know what the funny thing is? At the end of the day, the wave's pushing towards us. It's beautiful. It's the only thing that I always care about. How'd you end 20 kills this game? What the hell? You're 0-1 and 2 at 12 minutes in. That's crazy.
Had some big team fights and I was solo AD.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, what the? Orny's bullshit. Let me see. Okay. Ooh. At least he didn't have W to follow up. Right there. Again, right now you're just not min-maxing all across the board. You know Kha'Zix is dead. You should be positioned like right here, after the mages solidify themselves on the melees. Just so that you're as close to Ornn as humanly possible. You know Kha'Zix is dead 100%. If Sona ganks you, it's a 1v2 100%. If anything, I'm asking Sona, please gank me right now. I would love to actually see it happen. And then, yeah, because by standing here, you make it so that he doesn't walk up to the minions, maybe wail on the minions. And better yet, if he starts building, you can walk towards him and then walk away. Don't actually stop the build. Just walk towards him and look at him menacingly and then walk away. Most of the time, they'll cancel it themselves. If they call you not autoing you, they deserve to finish the build. And most of the time, they'll cancel the build and then they'll queue you. But because you were only looking at him menacingly and not actually planning on auto-attacking, you will dodge the ability. Because you're already moving away. Because you were calculating his zone of influence. Okay, right here. What's the fastest? Kha'Zix at the top end and gank your ass. Right now, he just spawned.
1324.
1325 around there, yes. 1325 is when he started being scared. It's realistically 1326, 1327. Somewhere around there, but you get the point. These are things that I'm going to keep bringing up over and over again in all our coaching sessions because I want you to naturally do this on your own. I want you to develop that defensive mindset because League of Legends is a solved game. It's been solved. The only thing that isn't solved every single game is the human psychology part of the game because you're facing off against different humans every single game on how they play layer 0, layer 1, layer 2. But aside from that, minions are solved, jungle clear and how fast jungle clears are solved. If you can see the amount of AD that they have on or AP, depending on how many items they have, just to clear camps faster. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Let me do this now. Okay, so Kha'Zix spawned. If he does Krugs and then ganks you, when did he get to top lane? Now there's a new component into it.
I'd add like 8 seconds.
Perfect. You got it exactly on the dot. It's roughly 7 to 8 seconds. Exactly on the dot. Good. And then if he does 2 camps, you can calculate that timer too. But these are things that you should be very mindful of. Because I had a game the other day where their Nocturne based from mid lane at like 7:15. And then I said on my Twitch stream, he was basing mid at 7:20. I said at 8:17 Nocturne ganks me. I said it out loud. Guess what? 8:15 he ults me top lane. It's because I was able to calculate his base timer. I calculated the walk timer to top lane and I calculated 2 camps. And then he did exactly that. Ganked at 8:15, survived, and the people in the chat were going, "Holy shit, how'd you figure it out?" It was just very simple mathematics. And of course, if the gank doesn't happen, congratulations, right? congratulations, the gank didn't happen. You get to poke the fuck out of a ward. But if the gank actually happens, at least you were aware that it happened, and you were already so ready for it that you were able to outplay it and go from there. We don't want anything to be a surprise here, where it's like, oh shit, he rolled up out of nowhere type shit. We want to be mindful of it. Now, for me, of course, I autopilot a lot too when I do my educational commentaries, and I do get surprise gangs sometimes. But I believe you're not streaming, so you can pour full focus into just like thinking about the game. And if you're able to do these things very naturally, you will surpass as a Vayne top player, and you will become a god once you start actually streaming. Because when I had to do those calculations of like, oh, Nocturne's gonna be here at 8:17 to gank me, I'm actively thinking about it. Because I only started developing that skill 1 year ago. It's fresh. But imagine if I started developing this skill 10 years ago when I was playing League of Legends, how natural it is inside me already that I don't have to think about it. So then I start thinking about something else, like how to play mechanics in front of a certain champion. So since you came to me for coaching, I'm trying to make as many things as possible just a part of your natural, like, second nature. Like right now, you know how to breathe. Are you thinking about how to breathe in real life? No, because you've been breathing the second you were born. And if you're able to calculate when a jungler spawns versus to when he can gank you at 3 different timers, and you make that so natural that it becomes like breathing, then you're gonna become really good at League of Legends. Because now we can start thinking about other things that are way deeper layer, like the human psychology portion and the actual mechanics in front of us. But do you understand why I'm explaining to you? Okay, perfect. Good, good. All right, let's talk about spacing and tethering. You know this concept full well. I already know you know this concept because you play Vayne top, but we're going to explain it to you. So again, we can get it on paper and anyone who's watching. Spacing and tethering. It's the ability to stay in touch with someone. So right now... Not yet. Now, okay, so spacing and tethering. I'm sure you've run into this in the past. Someone runs towards you and is like, bada bing, bada boom, I'm trying to kill you. Then they realize, oh shit, I cannot run towards this guy anymore. They turn around, but you keep running away. And then now you realize, wait a minute, this guy cannot get me. I can chase him and do damage. You turn around, oh shit, he's long gone. I know that's happened to you 100% already. You don't have to tell me. So this is spacing and tethering. The ability to stay in touch with someone. I'm going to explain this in 2 separate concepts. First, so you can understand it. Number 1. Let's go back to grade school. I want you to think about you're not on the playground. You're in an open field with your friend, the soccer field at your elementary school, okay? And your friend is standing behind you, 10 steps, okay? And now your friend says, I'm going to chase towards you and catch you. Your friend starts running towards you. You run away, okay, in a straight line. Now, if you and your friend never get tired, in theory, and you guys both run at the same speed and they're 10 steps behind you, will your friend ever catch you in a million years if there's nothing ever blocking you?
No.
No, your friend will never catch you in a million years because they are the same speed as you and there's nothing ever going to block you. Now, if there's a fence, let's say this is the field right here, this is the open field. You are here, you are here. Your friend is chasing towards you. Will your friend eventually catch you?
Yes.
Yes, because there's going to be a fence that's going to block you. Now, of course, you're not going to stand here and then get cornered. When you're running away, you're going to run like this, and then you're going to run like this to try to escape your friend, because you're going to choose the next best option, right? Now, your friend is not stupid. Your friend's not going to run behind you and then run like this. Your friend is going to do this to you. Do you see that? That's what your friend's going to do to you while they're chasing you. And it's very important that you understand this concept for this, because in the spacing and tethering concept, you need to understand space available. Right now, if Ornn ran at you full speed and you maintained the perfect running route to escape him, you will run into a wall eventually. We both agree with this. The wall's right here. Now, of course, if he actually ran towards you, you'd probably still hold enough range to be able to go like this or even go like this and still hold range on him, right? This is more for matchups kind of like Darius, if they like run you down. But you need to understand, whenever someone initiates anything on you, where they're in range to actually fight you, you need to understand the amount of space you have available. Because if they ran at you in a line forever, you need to understand when will you have to do an arch movement. A very common one is against Jax players. The Jax will jump on you like this. What's the most effective path for you to run? This way. But you see the problem? The problem is right here. When the Jax is running toward you, he will eventually cut you off. Now, if you arch yourself, he will also arch himself. And he'll eventually catch you, which is a problem. So, making sure that the initial space, whenever you're fighting anyone, when there's going to be a tether between you two, there's a connection between you two, is very important. So that you can force the tether to be the best possible case for you, so that you can run in a straight line forever. And obviously the straight line should always be towards the tower, ideally. Or the straight line should be long enough that you can do so much damage that it doesn't matter even when they catch up to you, that you can still kill them anyways. Do you understand this concept right here alone? The space available initial portion?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Next up, we need to understand the car example. You're American or Canadian?
I live in Canada. I'm American.
Okay. So, there's two cars traveling in one direction. One's going at 20 kilometers an hour, one's going at 10 kilometers an hour. Actually, let me take that back. They're both traveling in the same direction. One is going at 20, one's going at 10. Relative to each other, what are they both going at towards each other?
30.
30, exactly. You got it on the dot. Now, two cars moving the opposite directions. 20, 10. Moving away from each other, relative to each other, what's the speed that they're moving away from each other?
30 again.
30 again. You got on the dot. Now, two objects moving in the same direction. What is car A moving relative to car B?
10.
10, exactly. You got on the dot. Now, one object moving towards a standstill object that's not moving. What's the 20 moving towards a standstill object?
20.
Perfect. You got it exactly on the dot. This is very important to understand because for any amount of movement that happens, you have to understand this concept. And yes, you can sit here and be like, push over glasses, Vayne has 410 movement speed while this guy has 390, bada bing, bada boom, right? I don't care about that, okay? That's when you want to get deep into it. The only thing I care about is when you guys are fighting each other, how many extra steps you take away from him. So did you see what you just did there? You walked one extra step away from Ornn. So let me see right here. Here's the Ornn goes in. Watch, watch, watch. So, two objects moving in the same direction. However, look at the space available. The space available is fucked because the meetup point is right here. You see that? You're forced to move like this. So that's the meetup point right there. If you could hypothetically move through the wall like this, Ornn will never catch you in theory. But that's not possible. So the space available is like this. So he will crisscross with you at some point, in theory. Of course, you'll tumble and you'll escape. But that's just assuming no one has a tumble. Whatnot. But that goes back to space available. I want to talk about car example. So right here, you see that? Two objects moving in the opposite direction right now, which is very bad. You want to be two objects moving in the same direction. You want to be able to call that he's going to move backwards. And by the way, I can't do this. I would have done exactly what you did. But right now, you are asking me to coach you to become a fucking robot and a fucking machine. So I'm going to coach you to become a better player than me. Right now, if you were able to recognize that Ornn was going to turn and also turn at the exact same time as him, you would be one step closer to be able to stick with him and auto-attack him the entire time. So right now, you need to be able to recognize that Ornn's going to turn soon, I'm going to turn too. But you see this? Two objects moving opposite direction for roughly 2 extra steps now. 3. And you see the L that you took, right? That was 3 steps that you took away from him, and Ornn took away from you, 2 objects moving opposite direction. Very bad. You need to be able to call that right away. And call the human psychology portion of it, where he is going to turn because he finally realizes on his end as a human being that, shit, I can't go forward anymore. And be able to call that. Now, if you call the forward movement and he is stupid and he keeps going forward, you get dinged. You see that L that you take? So you need to be able to recognize another person's like IQ. Sorry, I looked at this guy's name and I said IQ. But yeah, IQ is actually a big thing, by the way. You need to be able to recognize a person's IQ in game, and how quick they are to respond to stuff, so that you're able to call that and get that 1 extra auto. Because if you turned right when he turned, you get 1 extra auto. If you turned when you turn and when I would personally turn too, because I'm not trying to become the best player anymore, you lose that 1 extra auto. And that 1 extra auto could be the difference of you getting a kill down the line or not. So that is the car example there, and the space available concept, that you want to be able to hold the spacing and tethering. Because right now, you and Ornn have a connection between each other. Because he decides to engage on you, and now he's inside the range of you. So there's a connection between the two of you. Bada bing, bada boom. Right there, if you think he was going to turn, you also need a turn. But you clearly think that he's going to keep running, so you decide to keep running. And right now, you're not moving directly towards him, which is fine, because you expect that the Ornn's going to queue. So you're moving at a weird sidle angle, which is exactly what I was talking about way earlier in the coaching. So that maybe the Ornn fucks his queue while you keep going forward. Maybe. Or then maybe you can go like this, and then ding, hard fucking reroute, thinking that Ornn Q shoots like this, if you perfectly time the Ornn Q. But who knows? If you turned when I said he should have turned, maybe you're right here, wailing 1 more auto on him. Maybe. You see that? So everything I explained right there was just for 1 extra auto. And that might sound like a lot of work, right? But when the game becomes a lot bigger, it will matter a lot more. Let me see if I can find a clip for you right now. Oh, that was not supposed to show, but it's fine. Let me see if I can find a clip for you that perfectly encapsulate this, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's PC videos, found it. Legend. Oh hell no, I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Okay. Here you go. So look at this concept in play. I want you to know, in this matchup, look at the situation. The wave is slow pushing towards Jax. I'm level 5 Vayne. So you already know I'm losing this matchup. By the way, I'm 0-2 in this matchup, and he's absolutely just demolishing the matchup. I'm getting fucked. But because of this concept, spacing and tethering alone, we win. So as you can see, Jax jumps onto me. And the most effective way to run was like this. But immediately I cut the spacing, the space available to like this. So he's in range of me right now. Why is the quality so shit? What the fuck? Okay, and we're good. So right here, notice how I walk towards him. No Vayne player, no low elo Vayne player in their right mind would have walked towards the Jax. But you're asking why, Saskia? Why didn't you walk this way? It's because I'm trying to anticipate that he's gonna run away. But I'm also still staying just outside of his E range. And my objective here is to stay as close as humanly possible to the Jax while being outside of his E range. You obviously don't want to get hit by the E, because he has fucking Sheen and like 2 items on me. And then now 2 objects moving opposite direction. So I immediately recalculate and go forward. He also breaks it and goes forward. So 2 objects moving the same direction. E breaks, but now we're good. So do you see in just that one interaction, we played the game now 3 times? To the naked eye, you might not be able to recognize it. But as a Vayne top player, you 100% saw the tiny details that a noob would not recognize there. I try to break it because I thought I got hit by E, but no. And now notice how I backed off, immediately turned again. Now it's 2 objects moving in the same direction instead of 2 objects moving in the opposite direction just for a split second. So I'm still in range of him. There's a tether between me and Jax right now. The space available is also being played like this right now. The most effective way for both of us to be able to escape each other is like that. So now I chase him towards. Boom. Spacing and tethering. He tried walking towards. I call it. He walks away. I turn again. So now he's smart. Look what he did. He went in here. If he went like this, he's really stupid if he went like that. He went like this. And now, the reason why he did that is because the next time he jumps on me, look at the space available. the space available inevitably runs into a wall, which is a problem for me. So that's why he pulled like that. He jumps on me. Notice how I recognize shit. If I run like this, I will eventually get collapsed on. So immediately I break it, the cycle, and it recreate the space available like this. And when you recreate the space available like that, you tank damage while you're doing it. Because you're not having effective direct movement away from that person, which means they get to land autos on you. Which means you got some autos on me. Now I immediately turn. Most people would have tumbled there and then walked one extra step. I autoed and then autoed immediately and then turned. So I can keep up with them. Now we chase. Up goes. He turns, I call it. He turned again. I called it exactly again. Call. That you can do a delayed call there, which is the speed that most regular Vayne players would do, because we have Ghost. Turns again. I know he's gonna jump. Wind up E. And then it's GG. Nothing left for him to do. So right there, that is a perfect example of spacing and tethering to the absolute degree. And in that clip, by the way, I want you to realize I autoed him 19 times. And he touched me 3 times. Look at 3 pieces of touches on me. Did half our HP bar. You see that? And it took us 19 autos and an E to kill him. And that was off of spacing and tethering. So that was a really good demonstration of that concept right there to its absolute, like, purest form. So you have to understand that concept to that degree to be able to win certain matchups, like the Jax matchup. Hey, let's keep going. Okay, so right now, public available information is Sona's bot. I hope you're acknowledging this. You're being pinged to back off. NASA's off map. Would I ego here? Yes. You ego here 100%. Is that Bork?
I believe I can afford Bork here.
Yeah. You bought a blue trinket on Vayne? Y'all crazy. Even if you can afford Bork here, you know what? I'm gonna say it. You should walk up. You should walk up up here, Beta Orn Q, dodge it, and then just start wailing the crap out of this Orn. Wait! It's public available information that Dragon is being taken. What? No, wail on this Orn. Wail on him. It's public available information. The Dragon is on the map and it's off the map at the same time. You should be able to recognize this and attack this Orn. So you should be up here. You can be anywhere, doesn't matter at this point because you know where Kha'Zix is. Wailing on this guy. Trying to dodge his Orn Q and then just start wailing as hard as you can.
I listen to my teammates' pings far too much.
Hell to the nah. But yeah, if you're gonna AFK, you may as well just base there and grab Bork if you're gonna AFK. I never buy Bork from this angle, by the way. From pickaxe recurve bow longsword angle, I never get Bork from that angle, so I don't actually know if you can actually afford it. I always get it from Vamp recurve angle or Vamp pickaxe angle. So the money makes a lot more sense for me.
Bork here is 1275, I think, and I was sitting on.
That
like,
is a weird
1500.
number. 1275. Wow, I've never seen that number in my life. That's good to know, though. Show him.
I feel like I shouldn't go Vamp Scepter because it's pretty hard for him to poke me without taking more damage, and he has Thornmail.
Can you repeat what you just said?
I didn't feel like buying Vamp Scepter because he doesn't. It's pretty hard for him to poke me without me giving him a lot more damage back, and he has Heal Cap.
The reason why I think Vamp Scepter is still good is because you are tanking this damage, and yes, you are getting grievous wounds applied to you, but you still need to heal off of the minion wave after you are poking him, and you are still healing something when you're attacking the Orn. So I do think the Vamp Scepter is still higher value rather than having nothing. Because all you have right now is 1.5%, which is literally nothing now. But when you have Vamp Scepter, at least you have something. So it's still useful. So that's my opinion when it comes to this. How the fuck does this guy have this item? What the hell? What the hell? That makes me confused.
I might have been on like 2,000 gold here.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Bro has a...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, bro's able to just make items. What prompted you to do this? Let me see.
This was a bad TP, I remember.
Okay, this is public available information that Kha'Zix is 1 HP. Sona's off map. It's publicly available. Yeah, it's a bad TP. Because there's literally no objectives in this situation to like even play for. So even if you TP'd in and wipe the fight, nothing really happens. I would have ran straight to this. Then if Sona Ziggs comes up and you think you can turn it, then you TP from here to here. Because by being over here, you're physically closer to completing the TP compared to all the way over here. So unless it's a rush thing, which obviously isn't, until you actually see Ziggs and Sona about to be there, or they're physically on a ward here, running in, then you TP. But even then, if you TP too quick, they might just disengage and be like, hey, we got a free TP, oh my god, lol, and then just walk away, which is very bad for you. You might want them to actually like be pulled in, which goes back to spacing and tethering. You want the tethers to be created where they're already committed to the fight. But yeah, bad TP overall. Why is my Fizz mid top? What the hell? So you know Kha'Zix is top side, which is cool. Honestly, take it. Take it. Fuck that shit. AFK gameplay? Nah, walk up. Ornn, R1, okay, cool. Face this direction. Alt Q this way. Start fighting Kha'Zix. And then bada bing, bada boom, go from there.
Yeah, in hindsight, I see that Kha'Zix is full MR. No tabbies or anything.
Yeah.
I shot him really fast.
And you're only doing this because it's Ornn. If it's like a Jace matchup, where if you die, you cannot win, you cannot play League anymore, don't do that. But if it's Ornn and you die, you're still chilling, you're good. Alright, let's see how you play this.
I played this fight so bad.
Yeah, okay. I see.
Make it worse.
Ooh. Okay. How we're supposed to play this is a very simple way. Yep, ghosting is correct here. Ulting is correct here. But going invisible is incorrect. You want to ult, walk in, auto him, then Q to the right, auto him, and then E as the ram is about to reach him, so he cannot shoot it, and then dink him into the wall. And if you can't dink him into the wall, which you should be able to from this angle to here, you'll at least push him here. And then he might not be able to get the ram off. Like, you might get that perfect timing where the E touches him right when he clicks R2, but the ram hasn't connected with his body yet, and you cancel the R2, or you E him, and he doesn't get the chance to R2, and he gets pushed over here. And then now if he does R2, if it's still available, it's at a really weird angle. So then it might not hit your teammates, or it might not hit the Fizz, which is all the way over here. And obviously, best case scenario, you just stun him, and then we don't have to worry about all that discussion that we're talking about. But those are the two tiny interactions you can run to Ornn. The E touches him right when he R2s, but it hasn't touched the ram yet, and it cancels him. Or he hasn't R2 yet, it pushes him far enough so that the angle is now super weird for how he R2s. If you cannot get the ram. The stun. Anyways, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. So right here, you're making a couple mistakes on your chase on the Ornn. So this is fine. You're holding spacing. Good. 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 So right here, auto. That's correct. That's a mistake right there. You walking one step and autoing, you need to walk a little bit more. Up to here, and then auto from here. Because your attack speed is not available yet. So something you have to be very used to is being mindful of your LT stacks when you finally have LT, and how much attack speed you're sitting at. Because obviously when you don't have LT stacked yet, your attack speed is changing every single auto. But once you're at 6 LT, you should know exactly what your attack speed is relative to how fast you're outputting damage, because you need to be able to output your damage while moving the most distance you possibly can to keep up with Ornn. Because right now, notice how you're standing still for 0.2 seconds. That's a mistake. You should be standing up here and then wailing your auto attack if your auto attack is not available, because you stood still for 0.2 seconds. We both saw that. So that's a mistake. Right, let me see. So this. That's all correct. The movement's good. Good. Your character stood still for a second. You can walk one more step. Good. And then you perfectly got the Q out. Beautiful. Oh, you have to base here. Unlucky. Okay. I was looking at the wave state and I was like, yeah. But then I saw this and I'm like, yep, take a base. Good job. Okay. Good, good, good. Good. Beautiful. Yep. All good stuff. Nothing to say here. Probably some small min-maxes, but I don't want to go through every tiny detail in that moment. Okay, so right here, let's talk about macro now. So in League of Legends, whenever you can get into a position to pressure, opposite side map, roughly a minute to a minute 30 before objective, do it. And the reason why you want to do this is because, as Vayne, you want to chokehold your opponent into two options. Number one, send one person to deal with Vayne. If this happens, you slowly chunk their opposite side tower. Flash kill them. Eventually. If you cannot kill them, because it's like Gangplank or Syndra, if you cannot kill them, but you can get pressure, push and rotate. So like, let's say like this dragon is spawning in like a minute now, you're pushing, wada bing, bada boom, it's 20 seconds left till dragon, you're right here. You're against Gangplank. The Gangplank can't beat you outside of lane, but he can beat you under the turret. So then you push out this wave, and then you rotate to dragon. Like this. Clear the mid wave, help dragon. TP's in. You have TP advantage because he has to TP in, and it takes like 5 seconds to TP in. So you have 5 seconds to output damage. Or if he comes in too early, that's fine too. At least everyone saw the TP coming, right? And then you're still there near the fight, and you hold on to your TP. If it's someone that you can pressure, like Ornn, you keep willing on tower, or eventually kill the Ornn if he does some dumb shit. Any questions for side lane pressuring when they send one person?
No.
Okay. If they send no one, that's an obvious no-brainer, right? Just keep wailing on the tower and keep going. If they send 2+, you have two options here. Gambit accepted. Gambit declined. So what this means is right here, you see, oh, 10 seconds till dragon. They sent their jungler top to fight me. You can see them on a ward right here that you maybe placed earlier. Now you have two options. You can Gambit accepted, good play, or bad play. A Gambit accepted good play is when you accept a 1v2, 1v3. With the intention that, hey, my teammates can do dragon, because how the fuck do they contest dragon if there's 3 people killing you? And then the enemy team only has 2 people. They're not going to contest 4 people with 2. So that's a good play, because you've chosen to accept the 1v2. A bad play is when you accept a 1v2, 1v3, but your teammates cannot do anything on the opposite side of the map. So then let's say dragon spawning in 1 minute, and then you accept the 1v2, 1v3 top. That's a bad play, right? But you can still accept Gambit accepted bad plays and Gambit accepted good plays. It's still fine. You can still accept both. I accept bad plays all the time for YouTube highlights, but that's me. But I'm just explaining to you so understand it. Okay. So that's what you want to do when it comes to accepting it or not. Gambit declined is obviously Gambit decline. Good play is you see the Kazakh's top, and your team and the dragon spawning in 5 seconds, but you decline the play by just running away. Good job. That's also fine too, because you don't risk having to outplay a 1v2, but your teammates also got dragon at the same time. So that's a good thing. And then Gambit decline bad play is obviously the same thing. So do you understand how this works for accepting 2 or 3 plus plays?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And here's the thing is it might be a little like questionable, like not questionable. You might not fully understand it now, but as you start to copy the way I do macro more and more, you will exactly understand everything that I'm talking about in this situation, and you'll see it in real time. Right now, in regards to macro gameplay, you went to bot side, which I really dislike. Sure, the enemy team might be a bit low HP, whatever, but right now, all your entire team's dead. Why do you give a shit about dragon? Your teammates don't deserve you. What you should have been doing right now is you should have been pressuring top. So right here, you should have recognized, hey, my teammates are gonna lose dragon. Why? Because my Sejuani is 1 HP, my Fizz is dead, my Zera's dead. I'm gonna keep pushing top right now. And I'm gonna actually be able to pressure and do something on the map. Because while the enemy team does dragon, at least I'm wailing on the tower a couple autos and on the Ornn a couple times. Or maybe even stealing the Krugs, maybe stealing the red, I don't fucking know, right? But you should not be basing here with the intention to help your teammates. This is, in my opinion, incorrect macro gameplay, in my opinion. So now, this decision to go to dragon is up in the air between all coaches. Whether, yes, Saskio, the Vayne should be here to 2v4 the Nasus and everyone at dragon because they're low, they burn ults, whatever. The Vayne and Fizz can 2v4, whatever, right? That's up in the air. But here's what I can promise you, okay? Raven, I can promise you this. If you push top right now, you cannot go wrong with it as a 3rd dragon. You are guaranteeing this money into your pocket right now. You are 100% guaranteeing a plate or 2 in your pockets. If you can't touch plate because maybe you're scared that someone is off map, take Krugs. We're positioned on the left-hand side, you get Krugs into your pocket. That is 100% guaranteed resources into your pocket. By basing and running bot lane, you do get 100% resources from the bot wave, but then after, what the fuck? What happens after? We don't know. Like, are you getting the next wave? Are they gonna 4-man after finish dragon collapse on you when you're clearing the next wave right here? That's coming from the base. Like I don't know, right? But you pushing top is 100% guaranteed. So that is what I think you should be doing here, instead of basing and running bot. Show him! Show him! So, now, in regards to what actually happened in the reality, good job. This is a play that I would not have done. So this is what separates me and you. But let me ask you this, right? If the enemy team all 4-man base there, right? After you showed bot, what do you get? Do you see that? If they
Nothing.
if
And
they
even
were
if Kazakh didn't run it down by jumping up the wall
exactly,
there.
if they all 4-man base and said, fuck it, let's just base, and then let's come back and then let's fight for the dragon on a nice 5v4 even footing ground, or 4v4, whatever it may be, you wasted your time. Because look what Ornn's doing right now. He's wailing top the entire time, got so much EXP into his pockets. He's a happy man. So that is why, right there, by going bot lane, you are choosing to do what I call the human play. So aside from the gambit stuff and side lane, now there's a new thing I'm going to talk about. There's the human and there's the AI play. The human play is you're playing off of humans and data points that you have based on emotional state of game. So right there, I don't know what's going through your mind, but the emotional state of your teammates right there in that situation was, oh fuck, we just lost, like this game is looking doomed, we're about to lose 3rd dragon, you're basing to run bot side, right, to help your teammates. It's human based play. And on top of that, when you roll up, you're hoping that Kazakh, Sona, and Ziggs, the human inside them, chooses to stay and fight you and not just base. Because if you go with the human play and the enemy team goes with the AI play of basing because they see Vayne bot lane, you lose. You see that? But if you choose the human play to assist your teammates and run bot lane there, and they choose the human play to fight you, you win. Or you can win and you can lose. I don't know. It depends how you play, right? I don't know. But you're hoping that they do that, which is not good because now you're hoping. Now, of course, you can look at previous data points. What have these people done in the past? This Kha'Zix and Sona, right? What have they done? And this could even apply to your teammates. Like, let's say you have an Ashe ADC who keeps pulling the fucking trigger as fast as he can. Then you just go mid instead of going side lane in late game. Because based on the humanness inside this guy, his emotional state of the way he's playing the situation is he's just pulling the trigger. If I go with the AI play, and then the Ashe pulls the trigger 4v5 and I'm bot lane with no TP, GG, you lose the game. Even though the correct play in that situation is the AI play of going bot lane and pushing so that you create multiple lanes worth of pressure. Because if the enemy team full AFKs, because you show up mid lane, then you lose. But if you show side and the enemy team force engages and your team also engages, you lose. So this right here, I don't have a solution to this problem. Because you're paired up with 9 other players every single time that all operate and move differently because everyone's human. Unfortunately. But we can always choose the AI play. So right there, I wanted to go with the AI play of push top lane, guarantee the 100% resource into your pocket. Because by pushing top there and losing third dragon, you don't lose the game. Technically lose the game directly. You can argue, yes, you lose the game by losing third dragon, but that's a different story. Ah, you chose another human play. Look at you. Now, in this situation, because you chose the human play, you actually ended up out on top. So now, this is on you to be able to choose each game, each situation, which option you think is best based on previous data points of the actual game you're playing and every game you played in the past, all 10,000 games you played in the past. When did you start playing League of Legends, out of curiosity?
Season 12.
Season 12. So yeah, you definitely played about 5,000 games by now, at least, for sure. Okay. But do you understand this concept in full?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Also, when did we start? I just got lost in the sauce. I don't want to hold you forever.
At 7 Eastern. It's 9:13 Eastern.
Oh, shit! Okay, do you want me to speed this up, or are you good? Do you need, like, a bathroom break?
I have time if you're not busy.
I'm not busy, I'm good. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, this was some good-ass Vayne, like, water view. Let's keep going. I'm, like, covering everything with you. Not everything. This is gonna be, like, almost, like, 70-something%. But this will... Sorry, I'm slurring my words now. This still covers a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that I've missed because it just hasn't happened in this game yet. Okay, what's going on here? So right now, you're on opposite side map for the Baron. You're against the Nasus side lane who has a lot of magic resistance. Nasus is also a bad champion for Vayne to deal with if you don't have QSS because of his Wither. So right now, you have teleport. You rotated red. Okay, so right now, you are choosing the human play. Obviously, we can both see that. Because the human play rotates over in hopes that the fight is still here, it's still happening. When you get here, the AI play would just be to mess with the Nasus and keep pushing side lane. So let's see if it pays off. I don't know if it pays off or not. Also, you need to be tumbling 24/7 right now. 24/7, just tumble, tumble, tumble. When you stop tumbling, it's somewhere around here. Because you want the tumble going to the fight. But you not tumbling here is an absolute waste for many reasons. You're not getting there faster. You have full mana, which is not even an issue at this stage of the game that we're not even thinking about. Like, you're just not getting there as fast as possible. Like, you see a blue trinket here?
My usual run page in the past was PTA with mana flow. And I was much more used to spamming tumble then. But I'm very uncomfortable on 400 mana, or whatever your base is.
But yeah, right now, that is not even an argument at all. Because right now, we're full late game. 21 minutes in, or not full late game, but we're 21 minutes in the game. You're full mana. We both clearly see that. Like, I know emotionally you're used to using mana for free when you have Essence Reaver or you have Manifold Ban. But objectively speaking right now, you can agree with me that you should be tumbling here 24/7, 100%. Especially when you see a blue trinket getting used in that bush, you just tumble into it. Auto the blue trinket. Keep going. Tumble here. Auto one of the minions. Maybe even get the last at the same time if you're that good at the game. And then keep going to the fight. Bada bing, bada boom. Nothing to talk about here. Okay, so you chose to go with the human play. But because you went with the human play, you ended up getting 3 kills for it, and you might even get Baron. I don't know. So that's up to you. Your call. By the way, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, by the way. I'm saying because you did that, that happened. Personally, I would have went with the AI play, and that's where I might have fallen short. Because a lot of coaches might argue there, Saskio, because you chose to fuck with Nasus, your teammates got wiped and then you lost Baron, right? But who knows? Right there, imagine if you started running over and they just all ran away. Everyone just ran away. And then now Nasus got to push for free. You didn't get to pressure tower in that time. GG. And this is going to be a problem until the day you die and leave this earth. You will never solve the human versus AI problem. Never, ever. Harsh reality of life. Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Nah. What are we doing? What is we doing?
A lot of violence.
For 0. It should just be inhib, postured as close as possible to the way out, and then just insta run the most effective path based on spacing to escape them as fast as possible right there. That's all you need to do. And that's not even hindsight, 2020 like coaching. That's like
that
situations that are obvious. Yeah. Hey, no one saw that. Everyone, look away.
I didn't even know that happened.
I bet you were trying to move it from one place to another in your inventory. You accidentally clicked it instead of holding the mouse. That's just my guess. I don't know. Show him. Show him. Oh, why'd you leave the bush? Don't worry, if I saw that fish shark on my team too, I'd still dodge that shit, don't you worry. Same as Veigar E, I dodge my own Veigar E's.
I hate Veigar E.
What did you do wrong here? Something was wrong here. Okay, here's the problem. So notice how you... This is hard to see in the moment. You open by leaving the bush, and then on your next tumble, you're positioned inside the bush again, but you naturally tumble to the left. So you leave the bush again, and you lose vision of this guy. Obviously, he's ulting or whatever, but I'm using this opportunity to explain something here. So right now, opening out is fine. Now, you don't want to move at all. Just stand still. And walk towards the right a little bit, that's fine. If you want some movement, because this is natural to move between auto attacks. But your next tumble should not leave the bush. It should enter the bush. Because what that does is, first of all, if they don't have it warded, you're chilling for, 0.1 seconds while someone has the ward. If the Kha'Zix does not have ult, and he enters the bush after the stun is done, and you tumbled and left the bush, GG. You see that? So make sure that your second tumble after that is re-entering the brush, if possible. And this scenario I'm explaining happens all over the place as a Vayne. All over the place. It could be top lane, it could be bot lane, alcoves, bushes, I don't know. But the way tumble works is, obviously, I don't want you to stand here when you're inside the bush and tumble into his face. That's dumb. Because if you tumble into his face, you're putting yourself inside his zone of influence to cue your ass right away. So it's always natural to tumble to the left or right as Vayne. So
That is why you want to move out of the bush, then tumble back into the brush instead of move into the brush and then tumble out of the brush. So do you understand what I'm explaining here?
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Why'd you go left? Let me see. What's going through your mind? Are you just... Maybe you're just getting excited? See? Auto-Sona. Oh, you got Auto-Sona. GG. Okay. Oh, I guess you're dodging a Ziggs Q, I guess. And a potential Sona ult here. A Sona ult would have happened a long time ago if it was going to happen. I guess you dodge all of Ziggs' abilities. Two objects moving opposite direction. You lose the ability to auto. Okay. Where the fuck is my Sejuani? Why do you have red buff being pulled?
This person was typing all game.
Okay, he didn't pull red buff. Auto, 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 auto. Yes. Yes, it's winning. Do the dragon. Yes. In this situation, you can go bot if you want. That is up to you. Just keep in mind, going top means that the enemy team is really close to you, and they collapse on you very quickly, so just keep that in mind. You are choosing to group.
I didn't think that my team would be able to do Baron if I went bot. If I were to die to Kha'Zix or something.
Yeah, your teammates would never do Baron unless Kha'Zix is literally dead. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, because bot inhib's down, you don't have to go there. If bot inhib was still alive, I would go bot lane 100%. And force the enemy team into the 2 gambits that I talk about. But because of this unique scenario, you're good. So, eat this guy. Show him. Give us that stat, if you want. Show him! There you go. The hell, where'd my Vayne go? I went full sweep for 1 second, my Vayne just died. So you see Kha'Zix. Hiya!
Yeah,
Yeah.
very bad use both of them.
Okay. I think we both know. Okay, there's nothing to talk about there. Alright, let's keep going. This is bad. Right there, right now.
But then they got vision of me from the crowd.
Oh, you were trying to do some weird shit?
Yeah.
Oh, did you think the fight was gonna migrate this way?
Yes.
That's why. Okay, I understand.
I saw Nessa spot and our mages are poking them.
Okay, I don't blame you.
I figured it would go down there.
That is correct. That is correct reasoning. Fair. Show him. Get him! Let's go! You know, as the fight was going on there, I was scared that you weren't gonna have anything tangible to auto attack. But right when I saw that Ornn, I was like, "Yep, that's good." And I think you saw that too. You're like, "Oh, that Ornn, free." Mercurial Skills hard now. Oh, there you go.
In team fights, it's really hard for me to tell, like right away when I get feathered.
Yeah, I don't have any advice there. You just have to know. That's just one of those things you just need to have, for lack of better words, the sauce to know.
Can you believe I lose from this position?
That's crazy. I mean, it's Ziggs. Okay, just take inhib and run. Finish the inhib. Ooh, bad tumble. Okay, objectively speaking... Yeah, you're supposed to leave. Emotional-wise, you feel like you won the game here, but you didn't actually win the game. The realistic call is... Once you take this tower and realize, nope, it's not happening, you need to take the inhib and then leave. And then 2 people will die. If you guys are smart enough to know that you guys can actually end the game here, you guys don't take a single turret, take inhib and then leave, everyone lives. And then you just siege top. Tumble's also bad. Well, I'm not saying it would have changed the game if you tumbled properly. So that tumble's fine. This tumble right here is bad. You tried doing the most effective tumble away from Kha'Zix for spacing and tethering wise, but you need to do a hard reroute this way. Because you're going to get collapsed on and met up somewhere over here by someone. So you need to just stick with the Seraphine and keep going this way.
I have E up here as well.
I don't think you would. Maybe you could have the E. Maybe.
I guess Nasus is there. I probably wouldn't have.
But the biggest thing is just being located over here instead right now.
Okay.
But obviously right now we're just arguing little sticks and stones, which I would love to do in the future. Once you have everything covered. The big problem was just you guys overstayed. You only argue sticks and stones when the person plays macro-wise perfectly.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, but now the game's up in the air again. Good. Gambit declined. Good job. And it was a bad play, so if you accepted the play, that would have been really bad. Because your team literally would have got nothing out of it. If you kill one and you die too. And if you kill both, though, you win the game. But y'all want to risk it? Can you beat Ness, Orn? Orn has Frozen Heart. Aiyah! Okay.
Yeah. This whole sequence was very bad.
He got your ass.
He did.
And he got the ghost. That's the worst part. Yeah, when it comes to popping Vayne ult, make sure that they've committed their body. Like, their body and soul is in the fight. They have no choice anymore. That's when you pop that shit. Obviously, unless you have to pop shit to initially just live. Because if you don't pop it to live, then you might die. But right there, since you have Hexblade, just pop the ult. Just pop ult. And then figure out what's happening after that. If you're gonna pop ult. Only pop the ghost when you know for sure it's full uncommitted.
I should have pinged off Baron without my ult though.
And more importantly, look at this. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Another 30 seconds. Bada bing, bada boom. They're gonna be feeling it. Man, what happened here?
This was just an oversight.
So you guys got Baron. Correct. Good call. Nope. Walking any amount of forward is incorrect. Walking to the wave, clearing it, and then figuring out the moves from alcove area is the play. Yep, Sejuani cannot walk forward. Didn't dodge stone ult. Rip. Okay. Okay. GG.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
That was a lot of info.
A lot of what?
A lot of info.
Info? Yes, 100%. Let me try to organize this for you. All right. So the way I always structure my coaching is always... Oh, my info, not coaching. Is I structure it into 4 pillars of League of Legends. Number 1 is mechanics. You are a master tier level player, so your mechanics are pretty much covered to the most part. Obviously, you still need to develop it. But mechanics is your mouse control, camera control. I unfortunately haven't gotten to see it yet because I didn't get your YouTube POV, but that's
My
something
camera
we'll
control
look at in the
sucks.
future. Yeah, I need to see that, and I'll be like, okay, your mouse should not be here, your mouse should not be there, bada bing, bada boom. And but mechanics at the end of the day is going to be your biggest friend when it comes to lane top. Actually, it's going to be your biggest friend playing League of Legends, period. Whatever champion you choose to play, you will always need good mechanics if you want to climb, period, especially to Challenger. This is going to be the final thing at the end of the day that separates you and someone else, aside from layer 0, layer 1, and layer 2 gameplay. Zone of influence, moving forward, I want you to develop that feeling. I'm not asking you to draw scripts in your brain. You can do that if you want. So everyone does their shit differently. But for me, I just feel it. Like, I'm just, whenever I approach someone in a game, I can just feel, okay, their abilities can come out like this. They're going to move like this. This is how fast it is. This is how fast I need to click before it happens. Like, Fiora, for example, with a bad vital, I'll purposely walk forward. And then I'll just feel that he's going to click Fiora Q. So then I'll Q backwards. 0.1 seconds before he Qs. And then he Qs at the same time. And then we both look like we're both moving in the same direction. And then I perfectly space it. And everyone's like, holy shit, Sasuke, you're insane. So yeah, that's zone of influence. Figure out how you want to figure that out and start developing the skill. Layer 0, layer 1, you'll see it. Spacing and tethering, you play Vayne top, you already know. Wave management, I covered some scenarios. I didn't write out every scenario, like, oh, when you're 2 waves slow pushing towards them, you want to be playing aggressively. I just explained that on the call. So wave management will cover more and more as I coach you and putting it on paper. I didn't put it all on paper today, but I'll put it on paper next time so that it's 100% clear. Decision making on base, yep, it's just it's just like small and unique things for decision making. I don't think there's anything to talk about. Do you have any questions for me? Anything I talked about today before I send you this entire thing?
No, that was great info. Thank you.
Okay, so moving forward, my biggest piece of advice before our next session is slowly start to incorporate these things. I know it's a lot of things. It's absolutely a lot, and I don't blame you at all. But I'm confident you can do it, and you'll start to see the consistencies on all these things. And then let me type out one more thing. From base to tier 1, it's roughly 20 seconds. Obviously, some champions have boots. It speeds up by like 1 or 2 seconds. Camille has 2 hook shots she can do. That makes it like a little bit faster. But you'll start to see that consistency when you time their base from their respawn timer to top lane. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.